we're live.
Hello. There's no one here at the moment. It's just us five, isn't it? No one here but us gamers. Give us a wave if you're actually here. Obviously, so Tracy left at what time, Sarge?
Well, the flight was, I think it was 11:30 Danish. So, yeah.
So I should be getting back probably halfway through our session, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see.
Okie dokie. Well, we're going to have some fun. I'm eating mini eggs because Easter's coming.
When you say Easter's coming in like
It's
2
after
months.
Christmas. It's the next holiday. You know what I mean? There's always the chocolate for the holiday coming, right? So Cadbury's cream eggs are now a thing. Mini eggs are a thing. Happy Easter, everyone, from the moment the new year started.
Oh dear.
Okay, so let's get some housekeeping out of the way. First things first, we'll talk about the competition a bit once people give us some waves, although everyone that tunes in kind of knows it anyway. I'm still waiting for Tithe to join, because he's had it. So what was that? What was Tithe's issue?
His dice cam wasn't camming.
Ah. That's what streaming's for.
I don't
He's just
think,
messaged.
I don't think the cam was camming at all. I don't know. Something.
Okay. I'm excited. You guys have got new... I'm hearing myself again, Eagle.
We're not hearing Eagle, so...
That's true.
Yeah. I'm feeding. How does that work?
I think something is seriously wrong with your audio setup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the gas automatically saying he will love to go over to Eagle's place and fix his stuff?
And Eagle just exploded.
In your Discord settings, what is your input set to for your microphone?
Live debugging here at the start of the session.
It's going to drive me up the wall, though, and he'll have to go push the door because I can't hear myself come back in for an entire session.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm working on it.
So what does it say? If you're in Discord and go settings,
65%.
then what is the actual input?
Microphone and video broadcast.
So your microphone is on video broadcast.
Or microphone Multec R audio.
But which is it? Which have you got selected?
Microphone Multec R. I'll turn it down. I'll turn the input.
It's not about turning it down, mate. It's about having the right one. If I'm coming through, I'm coming through. It's not coming from your headphones, I don't think. It's coming. So you need to figure out what microphone you've selected and make sure it's just the microphone. Then you need to identify that microphone, make sure it's there. Make sure it's not coming from a webcam or something.
The other thing I'd suggest, actually, in Discord, where in the channel where JJ is, right-click on him and turn his volume down slightly. Because he is rather loud, and he's the one that usually bleeds through, just because he is going to be louder in your ears. So
Makes sense.
If you turn him down slightly compared with everyone else, I've actually done the opposite. I've turned him up slightly because he's got the music coming through for the feed. So I get him even louder in my ears.
You love it.
Ooh.
Also, the other thing you could do is set the within the settings. Set yeah, I can still hear myself like clear as day.
I'm checking things out. Give me a minute. I'm adjusting things on the fly here.
I knew that was coming.
Someone had to do it.
I'm glad we had that huge time to set up beforehand. It's all good.
So far, so good.
So is the music just in your headphones? Is my voice just in your headphones?
Yes.
So turn me down.
I have done.
There you go. Hello. Let's see, that's all right now. I can't hear myself.
You have been rejected.
Yeah, like I said, I'm working. I just minus my gate a bit. That might be where it's doing it. So
that's too much because now we can't hear you.
Now you're breaking up
consistently.
constantly, yeah.
all right, okay. So let me see where JJ is. Talk for me a minute, JJ.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
It's fine at the moment.
Yep. If I start bleeding through again, I'll just get pushed to talk.
Right, so we are pretty much ready. Are you there, Tide? I'll take that as a no.
I
Oh,
am. There we go. So I had both my cameras plugged into the USBs on top of my PC, and apparently there wasn't bandwidth enough for both of them.
No, that's a right pain. I have the same thing. I have to play
Front
between
and back,
different
baby.
hubs, and
Yeah.
right pain.
Well, I don't know about you, but I unplug them when I'm not using them. You know.
I do not.
Is that because you don't want people watching you as you masturbate vigorously to porn?
Probably, but
There are 5 different cameras here. I'm not unplugging all of them.
He's got multi-shots of him masturbating to porn.
Yeah, well, that's the other channel.
Right, guys, I think it's time. Is everyone in the right place on the Horde of the Dragon Queen? Are we good to go?
I think so.
How's the broadcast looking? We're looking pretty. We are going in. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I was going to say, shall I go back to transition?
Let's pretend that bit didn't happen. Yeah, we weren't live then, were we? I said let's do some testing, is what I said at 12:30. Right, we're on a hard ceiling. Right, and go. We're on a bit of a hard ceiling today, so let's get things moving and a shaking. Gas competition.
Yep, I haven't typed it in yet, but I will in a second. If we get a nat 1 or a nat 20, put crit win, crit fail in the channel. You go into draws at the rolls at the end of the show. Whoever wins them gets a ticket into the main draw that happens at some point for about $100, depending. At the moment, it's not looking promising. But
By the way, I've got this on, and hopefully it's ironic today, because Gaz, this is for you.
we'll see. We'll see whether Ash rolls better than Glam.
So today I went to the beer shop. I said I was playing D&D, and I said I'm gonna train my dice whilst I'm waiting for my beers to be poured. And the first thing I rolled was a 1. So yeah, I'm gonna just do. Oh, there's another 1. I'm getting those ones out of the way, kids. Right.
No,
so...
you're the DM. We want the ones.
I know you do. I don't. I think we're good to go. So without further ado, I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna go live with some actual D&Ding. Let's go. I mean, is it Candlekeep week 20, or is it Tyranny of Dragons week 5? Anyway.
Yeah, I haven't renamed the commander.
The Cult of the Dragon is on the move. After rescuing some local villagers from cultists' camp, our adventurers returned to find their camp had been mostly abandoned. They were able to find some papers, some maps, defeat 2 wearers of purple, senior lieutenants within the cultists' hierarchy, and gather a couple of dragon eggs that were due to hatch pretty soon. They also managed to capture a couple of prisoners in their mirror prison. Magic and Muscle lost some of its muscle in the conflict and has now gained some piety in the form of a cleric of the dawn, Alfred Stormglow. Unable to raise Tazar, for now, they have him on ice in the basement of the mansion. There is other new guests in the mansion in the form of those 3 dragon eggs, which they're taking along with the papers and maps from the camp to the monk Leosin in El Turel. Arlo does not seem very happy to return to the Elven City, and the party are not sure why. But after a few encounters on the road, they finally arrived at the Chiontar, the river overlooking... at the Chiontar River overlooking the city, ready for the next stage in their journey. Now they need to find Leosin, Elanthar, and Ontharfrum. Looking out to the city, they realise the city's quite a big place. How will they find their allies? And what else could await them in the Elven City? And why does Arlo look so pensive? Okay, guys. Oh, what just happened? There was a boodle-boom in my ear.
No clue.
Okay.
Don't know.
Don't know, no clue. Okay, that's all good.
It's because we're clueless.
So, guys, you ended the last session, I believe. Now, I actually can't remember. Was it in the evening as you arrived? I think you woken up and you'd done the last part of your journey, and it was heading to about the middle of the day as you arrived at the River Chiontar, overlooking the city. I think that's right.
Yeah, next to last day, a bit slow but okay. You can see the city Enterel, about half a day away. I've written crossed river, but I don't think we have. I think it's that we need to
That's
cross
correct.
the river.
You need to cross the river.
Oh, and we
so
can't, Arlo can't use his name, apparently.
Well, that's what we've heard.
Arlo of the of Waterdeep today.
Arlo of Waterdeep. So you arrive as we pull. Let's pull. I think I've now got a map of El Terrell. Did I add that in here? No, I added the Baldur's Gate map. I think there was a map of El Terrell. So we'll just go back to this map. This is the one you were on originally. That doesn't drag from there, does it? I remember that. No, there is a map of El Terrell. There we go. I thought there was one. So this is a rough representation of what you see. And you guys would be somewhat to the south. So, and that's where you see where I've put you on the map. If you scroll to the very bottom for the cameras, you'll see that, as you travel the last little bit over the fields, what you'll notice is you're in an area, as you approach, it's very farm orientated. You also notice a lot of horse-backed based guards riding around. If each of you could make me a history check, that'll be our first rolls of the day. And with 4 rolls, good chance of a 20 or a 1. Here we go.
History check. I'm going to roll for my divinity dice.
Roll for your divinity dice.
That's a 2 and a 6. That is terrible.
Well, it's good for it's good for giving to me.
16.
15. It's an 8 plus 7.
16.
So, both obviously, as a fairly local boy who's travelled quite a lot, Astrid would know this, and Sarge, who's well travelled in general, would know this. Whereas you two haven't really travelled up this way. And to be honest, Arlo should know this, but he probably avoided and tried to deliberately forget anything to do with El Terrell. But the area that you're travelling through are known of the Fields of the Dead. The Hell Riders is the name of the horseback mounted police almost that are famed for this area, and they're very strict. But what you would also know is crime is not rampant in El Terrell. The El Terrell is ruled wisely by the High Rider Lord Delt, who's a paladin of Helm, which is something that could be of interest to Astrid, of course. That's why you'd know this, because he is actually a paladin of your order, because you are, of course, a cleric of Helm. So he's ever vigilant when it comes to the defense of his city and to the lawless elements who skulk to do business. He's a just, no-nonsense ruler who sometimes leads the patrols on the road along with his war captains. Delt keeps a city clean, law-abiding, and is a firm member of the Lord's Alliance, which some of you will know is one of the main organisations within Dungeons & Dragons. With the 16 as well, you would know that the Hell Riders are a force that have a couple of thousand riders. They're very superbly equipped and trained, and are known as one of the most fearsome fighting forces in Faerun. You do notice as you see a few come by you that they're all well armoured. All of them are skilled in the use of horse, bow, lance, and saber. And you do see that they have the sabers in the scabbards. They have the bows on their back. You don't want to fuck with these guys, basically. On the way in as well, one thing, you notice a lot of sheep and cattle on each side of the sort of road as you're heading in. It is a very farm-based area with livestock, scrub trees, and shrubs everywhere. And as you arrive at the bridge, you see the sprawling city before you. And we do have, as you notice, this a light rain. What do you want to do?
I wanna see what the party want to do.
I'm guessing we go in.
So you're approaching from the south, and there is an entrance over the bridge. The bridge is guarded. You do notice some Hell Riders that are there but people seem to have, say guarded, it is overwatched. People seem to be able to walk across the bridge freely. No one's inspecting any papers or anything. The guards are just there in case anything untoward was to happen.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
suppose
don't
we better
think
go
Quint
in.
should try and take.
saying his name wrong. And it's Alfred, and yeah, Alfred.
I will take the lead because with you saying what you said, I will take the lead with my shield glowing, shield and thing on show, just so that I don't think we'd have any issues.
I've just realised. Can anyone remember who we're supposed to talk to here? I know we're supposed to go here. Definitely stuff when we get there.
So you actually have a shield that's just a standard shield, but it does have your emblem, your holy symbol of the helm
Yes, it
that's
does.
attached to you. Cast basically using your shield, and that is your spell focus. That's just so I remember that, and yeah, and it does. It shows, and if you actually want to see, I can't know if it's here now. Let me just do this. If not, can you Google Church of the Helm and get the symbol for me to put in one of your sub cameras so everyone can see it? That's to that was to the broadcaster.
I'm curious.
And although they don't actually have that on them,
There's like a gauntlet with an eye.
So that eye, the symbol of the eye with the thing, that is the symbol of the Church of the Helm. And you actually notice that the guards here aren't all wearing that. They have their own logo, but that is and that is the symbol that you can see on the front of Astrid's shield. That is his focus. It is what was it? An amulet, wasn't it? You put an amulet of helm on your shield, so it very much looks like an eye.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you make your way. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'm just I was just saying this, just so that my thingy is showing.
Yeah.
So that I don't think we're going to have any issues.
No one's really having any issues. They do look you down. They do notice that. You do notice a couple of the riders on either side. As you get closer, you see that one of them also has like hanging on his wrist like the similar amulet, and he just gives you a look and he gives you a nod. It's nothing more than that. They don't speak. They just give you a nod as you make your way across the bridge. You notice barges. The river is fairly busy. That there is numerous boats coming and going along the riverside, and some of them moving in. And as you look down to your right, you do see like a dockland area to the right. And the city is yours to explore. / get lost in.
Yep.
Well, I don't know about you chaps, but I'd like to find a tavern or perhaps a few shops where I could pick up some supplies.
Sounds like an idea.
Or I suppose we could find this Leosin fella.
That was who we were supposed to meet.
So you're supposed to meet Leosin, and he'd told you when you get to the city to ask for Onthar Froom, and that is the person. That's where he would be.
To ask for who?
Onthar Froom.
Wonder how well I spelt that.
Probably about as well as I did.
Well, if I know anything, it's the taverns are the best place to ask people for, where they know people.
I
Lots
can
of
back up
comings
that
and
logic.
goings.
Oh, I can
Plus,
get
after
behind
such a long
that
ride, I
logic.
could really do with some tepid water.
I wonder if I can get me some armor.
So, do people want to head to a tavern or to try and head to a market first?
Well, if we
we've had the
secure
choice.
lodgings at the tavern first, and then the city, makes sense, right?
So we're heading in, looking for taverns, looking for a person. If each of you could roll me an investigation check.
Yay! Ooh, that's a good one. Well, maybe not. 13.
I'm changing my dice.
That's
That's
a 2,
a
6,
10.
and a 3 so far. 10, yeah. 16 plus or minus?
Nope. 16.
What we rolling?
Investigation, please, Eagle.
I think that's the worst one.
Okay. So you head across the bridge. You have the city at your disposal. Each of you kind of thinks and starts to look around. And it's actually the charismatic sorcerer that catches someone's attention and says, we're looking for an inn or somewhere to switch up. And they're like, well, if you follow down this this road here and take it past, there's an inn down there and the market's in that direction. That's probably the direction you want to go in.
What's he pointing?
And as he
north
leads you
or what?
down, oh, I nearly did that backwards. As he leads you down the path to your right,
Right.
you do actually come across. 1 second. The Gowelgar's Inn is the first thing that you come across, which you see on the map.
That sounds like a good place to get some tepid water.
Describe to us in epic detail what this inn looks like.
Oh, I actually put that on the wrong layer one thing. I put that on the map. Oh, that disappeared. I hate that. Where's send to back? To back. That's not doing anything. Oh,
DM issues.
oh, I put it on the map layer.
What do you think of this inn, Ashwin? I really want us to become a clean place. You know, cities like this are rife with disease.
Ah,
Well, the inn has disappeared, but it's right there. I'll describe the inn to you. It's ramshackle. You're heading to the north side of the docks. You can see that this is a very industrial area where you are right now, and it's heading towards mercantile, but it's definitely that area where you go from where the stuff comes from. And a lot of the dock workers and things may stay here, as opposed to somewhere at the upper end, on the other side, where people live of the big market sort of place. It's a well-worn inn, right in the middle of the docks and stockyards, looking like a spider web of clumsily linked buildings that it is. It's well known for its affable. Oh, and that's for me to tell you if you get to. If one thing you do notice is outside it, because there are some stables here if you wanted to put your horses, and there's a big manure pile next to the stables, which I'm sure as Arlo smells, he's just like, yeah.
We're sure we want to stay here. Looks ramshackle. Oh,
trust.
and Miss Taser, he'd never put up with something like this.
I'm not sure stay, but could be good to get a bit of information, lay of the land.
Oh, what do you know, boy? You used to sleep on the streets in Waterdeep.
Exactly.
Arlo's going to grumpily resign himself into going into this ramshackle tavern.
Yeah.
So you go in, and You're in the afternoon, so it's reasonably busy. Lots of dock workers that are sort of on their lunch or come off shift if they've worked through the night, having food. As you look around, you see a few people eating places that look quite simple. Lots of bread, wedges of local cheeses. Some people that are eating some eggs and fish. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You notice in particular a stew that smells quite nice. Ash, you're like, oh, that's quite a nice smelling stew.
I could go with some real food. I mean, the stuff they cook in the mansion tastes delicious. It just doesn't seem to fill me up as much as real food.
Just don't let them hear you say that.
No,
boy,
you know what I mean? That's like
why
asking for
don't
trouble.
you get us some food and drinks for the lot of us? So we find some tables and go and ask the locals whether they know about this Froon fellow.
Yeah, maybe we can find Eagle's missing icon while we're at it.
Okay, so as you wander around the place,
So with his -1 wisdom or -1 charisma or whatever it is, absolute lack of charisma, Arlo's just going to walk over to a random table and just say,
Hello, my dear friends. Good evening. Good evening. I am Arlo of Waterdeep, yes, and I was wondering if you might be able to help me and my compatriots. You see, we're new to Elturel, and we're looking for a friend. He goes by the name of Onfar Froom. I don't suppose you've heard of him. We'd be ever so grateful for any advice you could give us.
as I know you're expecting, make me a persuasion check.
let's change dice right now. That didn't even land in there. That is a straight 13.
Okay, that's not terrible. So one of them kind of looks up. There's a table. There's a couple of guys on there, typical dock workers. One kind of looks up and sort of spits onto the floor, not at you, and just goes, "Who are you again? Why are you disturbing our meal?"
Who am I? Who am I?
If you give me a second.
I'm Arlo of the of Waterdeep, bearer of the Book of Names, holder of the secret ways, guardian of the sacred texts. But you may call me sir.
Make a deception check.
Ooh. That is a 7.
And make me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh.
Guidance.
That is a 5.
He did say guidance as you were rolling. So I'll let him come up to you and hit you on the back and hit you for a bit of guidance.
And that is...
Well, like knock him over the head or something.
Maybe I shouldn't use that dice because it's undecipherable on camera. Or maybe I'll just roll it every time. It's a 4. You can see, right?
Yeah, you can see it clearly, yeah. So are you on your own at this table?
Well, I just walked over Baldur's Brass because I'm not very wise.
Yeah, so they look at you and go, What would he want with someone like Froome? He looks like a Nancy old mage type. You'd expect him to be, I don't know, to be honest, I'd expect him to be up in the market, just, oh. Anyway, you're on the wrong bar if you want that crowd. You want to head over to the pair of black antlers. That's where all that crowd hang out.
Well, would I recognise, like, because obviously we passed people that have the same symbol. Would I maybe recognise them at all?
Not in here. This is a very commoner's bar. Yeah, nothing in here. You are very shiny in here compared to everyone else. Everyone in here is very much. This is a very much dock workers bar. Ash, what are you doing whilst all this is happening?
So, if I notice it's a bit grimy in here, I'll prestidigitate and slightly dirty myself up. Because it works both ways.
I thought you were going to clear a table, but no, you're just making yourself a bit dirty.
Yeah, not massively, just a bit less spotless than usual. And so, yeah, I'll go up to the bar and say, "Ooh, that broth smells good. Could we have 4 of them, please. And have they got like ale on or something or other?
Oh, of course. My name's Goulding Gallagher. I'm the owner of this establishment. Yes, four broths, darling. Yeah. Yeah, should be good. You find yourself a table. I'll bring it over. That would be if you want. We do have we have a selection of beverages. You can get a mead. We sell that. We also have a standard ale. If you like, we have a special on. You can get stew bowls with a tankard or a glass of mead or a tankard of ale. And that's on special at the moment. You can actually get the mead and the drink. Oh, sorry, the drink and the food for 4 people, 5 gold pieces.
Okay. That
Sounds like a terrible deal.
I was just say, seems a bit much. What's the
I mean,
non-special
it's a very it's what can I tell you? The stew is fabulous here. We're known for it. I mean, looking at you, I mean, make a persuasion check.
Well, I was more thinking insight, but do I think he's trying to take the piss out of me?
You can also roll that as well if you would like.
I mean, actually, I would have done a lot better with persuasion, but I'll try insight first.
I'll say roll me both. One to see if he's taking a piss, and
Okay.
one to see if you can persuade him otherwise.
Okay, right. Insight first, then. That's 8, so yeah, I'm not sure I know. And then we'll try persuasion. 13 plus 7, dirty 20.
Well, I mean, as you are first-time customers, we can give you a little first-time discount. How about that? We do 5 gold pieces for all of you with a drink, of course, thrown in. I tell you what, I can do it for 4, just 1 gold piece each for the 4 of you.
Go on then. Since my insight didn't realise he was taking the piss too much.
Are you guys looking for a room as you've arrived in town? You've got that new visitor to El Toro look about you.
Wow, we're actually trying to look for Onthar's room. Do you know where he's likely to be?
Old Onthar? Oh, yeah, this is... he tends to... much more upmarket, much more of... I mean, this is more of a workers' bar. That's more of an adventurers' bar where those guys hang out. Yeah, they're up in the pair of Black Antlers. Although I don't know if they do rooms up there. I think they're more of a... more of a drinking establishment and almost like a... What do you call them people hang out before you go places? Kind of like a clubhouse.
Drunkards.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know how long we're going to stay here yet. We've got a bit of business with him, and yeah, we'll see. We might stay here for a bit, we might not. We'll see what.
Or just come back if you obviously when you grab a table when Stu's come out. If you want to come back here, I can tell you now. I like to give my prices straight off the bat. If you want to get a room, you can get. You get a room here. You rolled. What did you roll? You rolled well on persuasion, didn't you? Yeah. You can get. I can give you a room here for 5 gold pieces a night.
Okay.
All baths, all rooms here, because obviously with the work that people do, all the rooms come with a hot bath and a stable space for your horses. Do you have any horses?
We do, yes.
All rooms come with a bath and stabling for your horses. 5 gold. Best price you'll find in the town.
Okay.
And off your original insight, you genuinely believe it is the best price in town?
I do. May not be true.
Whether it is or not, who knows? Why is Taser on this map? I do apologise. I feel really bad now. When I set this up weeks ago, it wasn't dead.
Technically, he's there. He just needs a little sign next to him. Or
It's with us in spirit.
a crossbow, yeah.
Your stews turn up. I'm guessing. So you're at a table. So Arlo, you've both learnt the pair of Black Antlers is the place to be. Your stews and your mead. Did you want ales or meads? Or mixture of the two?
I think we'll go meads all round, but could we also get a tepid water?
So it gives you 4 meads, 4 stews, and a tepid water for the table.
So I'll sit down and go, got a great deal on this, but the drinks came with the meal, so I know you won't want one, Arlo, but we've got an extra mead for the table.
glad to know you're thinking of me, boy.
And he takes a sip of the water and he kind of spits it out. It's like,
Where the hell did they get this? Straight out the river?
Possibly.
Yeah. Have to go talk to those goddamn homunculi to get some decent water around here.
Yeah, I don't have
Boy,
purified
could you prestidigitate my water, please? With your wonder magic.
water. So I shall try and clean the water, whatever that looks like. Yeah, it should be less than a
Yeah.
cubic foot, so yeah, I shall try and clean his water as best I can.
right, so he's going to take another sip of that and be just kind of say,
I guess that's good enough for now.
and kind of start eating his meal and explain that he's spoken to some people and the Black Antlers seem like the place that we need to go to.
The
And
food is
berate you as well for the terrible deal that you've got.
the food is very nice, not spectacular, but very good. Today's stew is actually shrimp, which appears to be very fresh. You think it's probably come out of the thing, and whereas the food is great, you can't help but be slightly put off just with the aroma of manure that you still can smell inside.
So I'll take the thing off. Well, I'll try a bit of the mead first of all. Go, this tastes like wine. Oh wait, take my
Wine flavored stew.
try
Okay,
it for real.
so-
Yeah, that's not bad.
So Arla's going to remind everyone as well that we've got some goods that we need to convert into gold. So when we go down to the market, we've got dragon necklaces that look quite valuable. I've got the things written down somewhere. We've got this pearl necklace floating around, these sapphires rings, these gemstones. So there's quite a lot of gold that
Think
we've
we
got at the
gave
moment.
the dragon necklace back, didn't we?
No, I think they told
Oh,
us
no,
to
s-
find people in Elturel and deal with it there.
Oh, string of pearls we gave back. That was it. Yeah. And golden
I
sapphire
got
ring
the
we gave
dragon
back.
amulet.
When he drops your food off, it's like, yeah, if you're looking for the pair of black antlers, you need to head to the almost, it's right near the north gate of the town. It's kind of the opposite end of town to where we are. Anything else I can help you gentlemen with?
Yes, would you happen to know where I might find a scribe or a spell shop of sorts?
If you're looking for a market, Eltrell's got one of the finest markets in the area. Shara's market is it's just down the way. You can't miss it. Follow the road you've been walking down from. If you've just come over the bridge, keep going down this road. Couple of minutes, and it's the biggest market you've ever seen, I think.
Why, thank you, sir. You've been most helpful.
And I give him a copper.
He kind of looks at it, bites it, puts it in his pocket. Need anything else? Just give me a shout. Yeah. Gallagher's the name.
Right,
Innkeeper's my game.
Other two people here, is there anything that you wanted while you were here?
Not that I can think of right this minute.
So the thing.
Food. But besides that,
Well, I think someone said something about armor.
yeah.
Quent. I
Well,
suppose we can just have a look around in the market.
yeah, but problem is I need something that's above +3.
I was going to say, I think that's it. I don't think armor makes a lot of sense for you in most cases.
I get a natural +3 to my AC, as I'm not wearing armor. But if I can wear light and medium, but they have to be like +4 or better to be
Also,
better. So
I
yeah.
don't think mage armor can stack with real armor, if I'm not mistaken. So
That's correct.
if you wear armor, I can't mage armor you either.
Eesh.
Yeah, you're looking more for robes or clothing that would give a boost to AC as opposed to armor.
Well,
We mentioned it briefly in the last session. Yeah, just kind of, carry on.
You
Anyway,
need something like a ring of protection or a cloak of defense.
But yes, also,
Alright.
yes, the DM may have mentioned in the last session, don't worry about armor for some
Don't do
reason.
anything.
that's-
In my
with
head,
armor
I would
just
like
yet.
to think that
Unspecified.
Arlo's been having this conversation with Quent, and he's just been rambling on and explaining to him all the different magical items that one could acquire to deal with armor, and Quent's just looking at him, just like, shut up.
Right. Well, So something like a ring or an amulet then to boost AC. Okay.
Exactly. A ring or an amulet, yes.
And
Just,
given what's happened recently, might not be such a bad thing if we have got a couple of healing potions as backup. I mean, I can do a little bit, and obviously Alfred here can do a fair bit, and Arlo can sometimes hurt people, sometimes heal.
Astrid,
What can I say? I don't really believe in the gods.
Astrid, when you hear him talk about this, make me a wisdom check.
By Astrid, you mean Alfred?
Alfred, even, yes. Astrid's different.
Right, a history check, right?
Yes, Alfred, please.
I didn't know he was
said wisdom, didn't
bisexual.
you?
What's a 6?
Ooh.
Okay. So yeah, you hear him talk about it, and it kind of something resonates, but you can't think why that would be a useful thing that you might know about. Okay.
Yep.
I imagine we're gonna head once you've eaten out toward the marketplace.
Yeesh.
Yep, makes sense.
Yep. And I think we've managed to sort it, so it's not feeding through anymore. Without
Indeed.
being pushed to talk. Yay.
Okay.
5 seconds later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're in the market. Did I create a thing for market? No, for shop. Okay, cool. So you wander around the market. What are you looking for in particular on this shopping spree? And we're going to make it fairly quick.
Could we
so we can
find
get
a
on.
jewelers first of all to try and get rid of these necklaces and the sapphire ring, and just convert them into gold?
Make a investigation check for me.
Not that dice. That is a 17 plus. Why did that move off? 17 plus 7. So that's 24.
What you learn as you go through, you do learn that within Shara's market, one of the first things you see actually as you're entering the marketplace, it's a place called the Aurora's Emporium, and it's a stone building, and as you look out, even outside, there's a lot of clutter. You see all kinds of things that may be for sale, and as you walk past, you think this may be a good place to A, pawn some goods, and B, this could be a good place to do some shopping. It looks like it's got some interesting things in the window.
Okay. As I look around and I see this place, I'll turn to my friends and say,
That's the ticket. I think this place is going to have much of what we need.
and I'm just going to head in there.
I'll follow.
Yeah, that's all barge in.
Right.
Okey-dokey.
What do we see, DM?
Oh, well, let's have a picture. Zoom in, shall we? Right, so, stone wall, stone floor, place littered with barrels, bottles, cluttered, busy, items hanging on hooks and pegs, others sit over on crowded shelves. You see a woman. Actually, you kind of, you don't know if it's a woman or not when you first see. You just see someone bent behind the counter, and you hear rummaging and the clinking of glasses and bottles come from under the counter.
Hello, shopkeep. Hello.
And as you sort of say that, it's, and they bang their head on the counter, and she's like, my, hello, customers. Oh, I do like customers. Yes. Oh, hi. And she comes over, and she's a human, round about sort of, I don't know, 20s, 30s, maybe into the early. You can't quite tell. Her face is very dusty, and she's got like dust marks all down her face. Blonde hair tied back in a ponytail. She walks round the counter, and she walks straight up. Who's at the front at this point? Is it you, Arlo?
Unwisely, yes.
Yeah.
She walks up and she sticks out her hand. Hi. Anyanka Jenkins. Jolly good to see you. What can we do for you today?
Just trying to write that down.
Yes, me and my compatriots would like to see what you have on wares, and also we have a few odds and ends that we'd like to trade. Of particular interest to us would be items of a magical nature, scrolls, any sort of rings or protection, perhaps. We're also particularly interested in healing potions, or in general, what sort of potions you might have, if any at all.
She goes, oh, well, people do say that Aurora's Emporium isn't just about we have I don't know what they say. So yes, Aurora is not here. She's opening a new shop. We have a new store opening in Westgate. So she's over there, but hopefully I can help you. And we have many things. She goes behind the counter and starts rummaging out, and dust flies out from behind there, and a book appears on the table. On top of that, like an inkwell, she's like, sure, we've got lots of things around here. And she pops her head. Did you say you wanted to sell some things as well?
Well, yes.
And I kind of get out the bag of holding and put down on the counter these, let me see. So these dragon necklaces. So we've got about 5 of them. Gaz said we don't have a pearl necklace, but there's also a sapphire ring worth 900 GP.
No,
and
we don't have that
a few
either.
gemstones.
The pearls and the 2 rings we gave back in greenest. So yeah,
Okay, I'm just going to delete those then.
Still got
And
the
we have-
necklace, and we got the precious stones, except for one which you wanted to keep for a spell or
I
something.
need it as a spell focus.
Yeah.
And I won't say anything about the dragon eggs.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. So what are you placing on the counter?
All of it, to be honest.
Let's say that again. So it's 5.
It's 5 necklaces worth in total. That's 200 and this is where basic math is failing me.
What they worth each
280 gold pieces.
in total, yeah?
Yes,
Approximately. Obviously, resale value isn't always retail value.
or 10 gold pieces to a non-collector.
Oh, they're statues, or at least I've got them down as dragon calf statues, not necklaces.
Right, I'll just change that to statue.
I mean, I'm not sure it
And
is.
that
was-
That's just what I wrote
was
it
that-
down as.
They were 280 to a collector, weren't they?
Yeah, so there's a
Yes.
50, a 60, a 70, a 100, if we can find a buyer, or 10 GP to somebody who doesn't know what they are.
Okay,
then
I'll roll
obviously
for
there's,
that in a second.
5 gemstones collectively worth 500 GP.
Okay, so she starts to look, and she pulls out a little eyepiece and starts looking at the gems, looks at the necklace. Okay. She's like, well, these aren't... And she actually spends... She pulls under the desk, actually, and she pulls out this little eyepiece and puts it in and starts to look at it. And as she looks at the necklaces... statues, she's like, well, these, I could probably give you maybe 50 gold pieces for the statues. They're very nice, but they're not magical at all or anything. And the gemstones, probably like 300 gold pieces.
Right, guys, what do we think before we say anything?
I said, but obviously, let's see what if you're going to buy anything, because obviously you think that what values changed based on the commerce.
Yeah.
And she then starts to say, so what I'd like you to do is go back to my shop now. I'm in 2 different places. Locations. It takes me straight in there. So the first thing she pulls out a couple of things. The first thing she pulls out is a potion. She said, you said potions. So and she puts 3 potions on the table. She went, these are your standard healing potions. I know you adventurer types. You look like you like to go. And she goes, look at the muscles on this one. And she starts to just stroke Quent's pecs. And she's like, yes. So if you wanted healing up, these are just standard potions of healing. They go for the standard price, of course, 50 gold pieces.
Is that each?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how,
We also have this. Go on.
how many did
we
you
have
say
the-
you had?
2.
2, right, yeah.
2 potions of healing. We also have this down here, which is this will aid you in if you're trying to climb or scale a mountain or something like. I know. Again, she kind of goes and starts to stroke his bicep now. Like, if this big one was trying to climb up a building, or not that you would climb into buildings or do any kind of illegal things, not in this town anyway. But yeah, this would allow you to be able to climb much faster, much easier. Other than that, what? And then she turns around and she starts to rummage around the shelf behind, and she's, oh, that's that. I wondered where this has got to. And she puts this on the table, and it's an amulet. And as you look at it, it's actually got a load of interlocking gears, almost like and it looks like a clockwork kind of thing. And she said, "This is you actually do hear it ticking." This is a very unique item. Allows you to it makes things easier in combat for you. It's actually called a clockwork amulet. I'll tell you what it does, just for the sake of it, even though you wouldn't necessarily know when you get it. But she'll explain that when you make an attack roll wearing the amulet, you can forgo rolling a d20 to get a 10.
Okay.
So not huge, but obviously if you've got a +7 to hit, it's a guaranteed 17. Once per day. And she's basically like, this is one of our sort of cheaper items that is looking at you, no offense. But this would be around about 400 gold. And then she goes over to another shelf and she pulls something else out, and she went, this would be a little bit cheaper. This is only 250 gold. And she pulls out like a hat, and it's got horns on it, kind of like Skyrim's like hat, like this one going this way, this one going this way, and it's actually it looks quite menacing. And then she puts it on, and her eyes go red, and she's like, this isn't, it doesn't really have many magical properties, but it does make one look fearsome. And that's called the Dread Helm. She has that. She went, we also have this here. And she goes over to a rack where there's some weapons, and most of them look normal, tarnished, but one is pretty gleaming, and she pulls it out, and she goes, 1 second, and she kind of goes over and she pulls some dusty curtains across, and she turns the lanterns down, and as she pulls the sword out, you can see that around her for 15 foot it sheds moonlight. So there's basically dim light for 15 feet around her. This is another one of my cheaper items. We do have expensive items, but we don't have that many in at the moment. But I will. Maybe I'll find one or two for you. And so that is the moon touched sword, and that is about 150 gold pieces. So if you like things like this that can bring light, I also have this, and she pulls out another sword from behind it. It's actually more of like a mace. This is a little bit pricier. This will be 500 gold, and it has a name. It's called, and she holds it in front of her, Lightbringer, and it's a +1 mace that was made for a cleric of Lathander, and the head of the mace is shaped like a sunburst made of solid brass, and it glows bright as a torch when commanded by the will. And she does it. When she says that, the front of it gives off a radiance. And she went, oh, sorry. And she puts it down, and she went, I'd like to check. None of you are of the undead variety, are you?
No, all of us here are very alive.
Because the light, when it sheds, does do damage to undead creatures. So that is a mace that does 1d6 radiant damage to undead creatures when glowing.
That could be quite useful.
That's 500. This is about 500 gold pieces. Well, to you. I mean, to be honest, I've had an offer for it already at 600, and we did have someone who could go for 1,000, but I mean, it depends what you're getting. But to be honest, I shouldn't have said 500. Damn it. And then finally, she says, And of course, looking at maybe the more wealthy amongst you, and she looks kind of at Arlo and thinks maybe, and she went, well, "I do have these," and she pulls out a little. Now from under the counter, she pulls out a wooden box.
Interesting. What was in this box?
And then she does a little movement with her hands, and you hear a click, and then she opens it up, turns it to face towards you, and inside are a set of gloves. Let me just load this up. They are very ornate. They look very pretty. They're kind of light blue, almost pastel coloured. And she puts them on, and they almost like seem quite big in the thing. And as soon as she puts them on, they shrink perfectly down to her hand size, her dainty little hands. And she went, these, whilst you have them, I was going to get you to test it, but sometimes they don't work, and I don't really want you to hit me. If someone was to fire something at you fast, or was to throw something at you, these could possibly be able to just reach out and grab it, and maybe even throw it back at them. They're gloves of missile snaring. I know if you play Baldur's Gate 3, you know exactly what they do. But effectively, you can use your reaction to reduce damage by 1d10, plus your dexterity modifier to any ranged attack on you, providing you have a free hand. So it's no good if you don't have a free hand. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the missile and I believe send it back.
So very much like the monk ability.
Basically, the monk ability on a pair of gloves.
Very, very good.
Cannonball.
These, and she sort of like pulls them back. She went, fortunately, these are very pricey. These will cost you approximately 5,000 gold pieces.
If only we had 5,000 gold.
Yeah, I rolled for the shop on your site, you told me, and these were the ones that came up. So you know what I mean. As a few, but I think I rolled 3 times. I rolled on 3 small shops to get some small stuff, and then 2 big shops, and it worked out quite well. And I sort of I then rolled dice to get the selection. So she sets them in front of you. As you look across the table, so you've got the gloves of Missile Snaring 3, which are approximately 5,000 gold. You've got the amulet for around 400. Obviously, all these are negotiable prices. You've got the healing potions at 50 each. The helmet, which is approximately 250, which turns your eyes red. The Moon Touch Sword, which basically sheds light. The Light Bringer, which is probably one of the better items at 500, which does damage to undead and would give light out. And a Potion of Climbing.
How much was the potion of climbing?
That's about 200 gold pieces.
Right. Okay.
I have no idea how much money you guys have, so, you know.
So I was going to say, I think the gloves might be out of our price range.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to say. I didn't want to assume.
The Moonlight Sword, I'm not entirely sure about that it's useful to us, and I just catch Slight on Quent's axe as I've done before.
Oh, you're one of the magical ones.
I'd like to just be a bit showy. So
Clockwork Amulet could be useful for a guaranteed hit.
yeah, so yeah, of the ones I'm basically thinking, healing potions definite. Clockwork Amulet could be useful, and the mace maybe. It depends how much damage it can. Realistically, I think Quent's really the only one that could use it.
Well, no, we have a cleric, but you won't do a lot of hitting
cleric.
stuff with maces.
Yeah, true.
But clerics do traditionally carry maces.
Yeah, though I think he can do effectively the radiant stuff naturally.
Yes, and it's higher.
But you don't. He would get a 1d6 radiant damage to undead whilst glowing, and proficiency with the mace allows you to roll your proficiency with it. The head of the mace shapes like a sunburn. The one thing it doesn't say is it doesn't say when that is. You can summon that whenever you want, so it's basically 1d6 whenever you want. I think to undead. I would double check that. So yeah.
I am interested, but I'm not going to show that I'm interested in it right now. I mean, I don't know what finances have between us. There was a few things there was one particular thing I was hoping to get, but it hasn't gone on the table, so I'm not going to mention anymore because of prices.
Well, I think we definitely want to pick up healing potions.
Yeah, I was looking at a rare healing potion, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible here.
It'd probably be out of our price range if the words before it are very rare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's standard rare, not very rare.
But yeah,
I,
no,
I, I was I did a little bit of research, but I was looking at superior healing. It just makes it 84 plus 8.
It's
That
great, but
would
they
be
cost you about 1,000 gold, I
expensive,
think, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
they're not cheap. They're things you find, not buy.
Yeah.
And also rarely find.
Yeah, I mean, generally, you don't need the higher heals. You just need something to get somebody up. It is
Mostly, yeah.
I was thinking for one of us, just like in an emergency scenario.
yes, yeah. I see what you're saying, but
That's why I was.
I'd like to have a even bigger one than that for my campaign, but you ain't getting one. Right. Anyway, so look at
yeah.
You know,
to give you a little rundown of
it's called Viagra.
to give you a little rundown of what just for the only thing that's the Lightbringer is attunable. So whoever's going to have that would have to attune to it, though I do know that Alfred hasn't attuned to much, so it wouldn't be too bad. Obviously, the gloves of missile snaring are very attunable. Nothing else was attunable.
What does the helm do? Does it give someone advantage on intimidation checks or something like that?
I mean, I would almost certainly give that because of that. It doesn't state it on the thing, but it makes you very dread and intimidating. I'm sure that there's all kinds of things. Like, this is a game, isn't it? In general, if you were going to roll an intimidation check and had the helmet on and turned your eyes red, I'd almost certainly give you advantage. In a similar way that if you were trying to make someone scared or run away, same thing. Alternatively, if you're trying to go into a bar and order drinks and you did it, you might get a disadvantage on cheap prices. I mean,
Yeah, the hat and the mace are intriguing.
Well, never underestimate the power of advantage on a skill check.
100%.
You know, you just stop persuading people. I use persuasion with my fist. You know, it can work. So I think the healing potions. Yes, mace interesting. Clockwork amulet is probably one that would be good, and maybe the dread helm would be good if we can get someone who's wearing it to talk. We could put it on Ashrin.
Well, I'm not going to say anything in the shop, but obviously, I you know what my things are, so it could help with my things. I don't know.
Okay. So what do we
Ashrin's
think?
actually got a +7 to intimidation as well.
What do we think? What are we interested in?
Right, come on, guys. What do you want? So definitely the healing potions.
Yep.
Does anyone want to have a guaranteed hit per day, Quent?
Nope, not that one. I'm more right here. Right now, I'm looking for healing potions, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that just melee attacks, or would it work for, let's say, a spell that requires a roll to hit?
Good question. So what was that? That was the Clockwork Amulet.
Yes.
Interclocking, magic, plane, creature, ticking, whirring. When you make an attack roll. So any attack roll, you forgo the d20 and you automatically get a 10.
See, because that could be useful then.
it's like effectively a divination dice that's always set to 10.
I think that would suit Arlo because of that, because he's already got the divination dice. He's got a guaranteed 17. He was 7 to hit, I imagine.
I've a +8 to hit.
There you go. So that's guaranteed 18 with like a Ray of Frost or.
Yeah,
or
there are
something.
certain spells that when you upcast them, you really need them to hit.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Clockwork Amulet is running to my number 2 spot. Right, so 2 healing potions, that's 100. Clockwork Amulet would bring that up to 500. And if someone wanted the helm as well, that's 750. We've got at least 250s worth of stuff that we can barter with. We can maybe get that up and maybe get their prices down. So we're looking at 500 gold pieces need to go
What
in.
about the Lightbringer?
Well, I don't think Quent's going to use a mace.
I think
That's
that's what
lower damage.
I think that's what Eagle wanted.
Yeah, the mace and the hat, the helm, the helm of the one that turns the eyes red. That's definitely interesting to me.
Our
I
problem is, as a
don't
new
know
character, he's
if-
got 15 gold.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you came here before going to get your reward, of course.
Yes, we can always come back.
You could always come back.
And there's probably more than one shop.
There really isn't. That's the point. We do one shop when shopping. There are other shops, but this is the only magic shop.
Yeah. There is, but isn't.
This summarizes all your shopping in one experience. Otherwise, we'll be here all day shopping.
Because I could really do with some spell scrolls as well to
That's
increase my
also a
repertoire.
thing. Oh, scrolls. Oh well, you'd want to go over to the spell counter. Old Tiberius, he has all kinds of magical ingredients and scrolls, etc.
Right, so I would definitely want to check that out before committing any of my gold.
Yeah, I got a couple of things that might interest that guy, possibly.
Yeah, right this minute, I say, I mean, yeah, the potion of healing for sure.
I mean, well, for the sake of brevity, if you wanted to get the healing and the amulet, go get your money, go to another shop. We don't have to do all this in one go. So you know what is available here. You can say to her, I'll come back later. The items will still be there.
How many healings does she have?
So she had 2 potions of healing.
Right, so
Okay, so we know what we've got here.
I'm going to cast Whisper and whisper to Wonder Boy, just so only me and he can hear.
I think if you use some of your gift of the gab, you might be able to get the price up on some of our stuff and maybe get those healing potions down a little bit. We can come back for the rest later.
Yes. Oh, well, I was thinking, in terms of the bartering, I think the more we buy in one go, the better a price we can get. So I think leave her wanting. We'll go check out the other things, get our reward, and then we'll head back and grab the bits.
Okay, so we'll head back in a bit, but can we just check the scroll place first?
Beware of the words.
So you're leaving without buying anything? Okay, well, you know, I must work on my salesmanship. Okay, well, please come again soon.
Yeah,
We will be back. We will be back, believe me. And you were an absolute delight. Don't worry.
So, yeah, you move out. As you walk around the marketplace, Arlo, make me an investigation check.
14.
So, it takes you a little bit of time because you didn't ask her for directions. But you do find, because it's a big market. And in fact, there's 2 things you see as you're walking around with that roll. It takes you a bit longer than you were hoping. It's getting toward the end of the day now. But you actually find the spell counter just after, and about 3 doors down from a very interesting shop called Favela Orquita, which has a whole array of plants and mysterious looking fauna and flora outside it. And having picked up the book that you recently picked up, this does intrigue you.
Right. Spell place first. This second.
So you walk. So you made a note of it. So that shop exists now. And as you walk along, you do go to the spell shop, and go in.
Right. And I'm just going to take a deep breath, through the nostrils.
Ah, the smell of paper and parchment. Delightful.
A little gnome comes out. Good day, good day. Tiberius Scratch is the name. It's a little gnome. He's got his small little glasses on his face, little Iceland old face, very old now. He looks at you and goes, you look like a man of similar tastes. What can I do for you today?
Oh, yes, I fear we are kindred spirits in that regard. Yes, I have come to see what you have in terms of spell scrolls and parchment and books. I'm somewhat of a wizard myself,
So long story long, rather than go for each individual one, he does have a selection of scrolls. Make a perception check. Actually, If the two magic people can make me perception checks.
When you say two magic people,
Oh, sorry, you two, yeah.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
We've got a nat 20, kids.
I was going to say, I'm not going to get that, I don't think.
So
No,
my perception is
I got
19.
I got it.
It'd be funny if you'd have got a 1 and we'd have not had a roll. So
Mine's 6.
you look. The one thing that you
I
notice,
got
Arlo, as
bored
you're going
of
up
those
there, you do notice some dragon iconography around the place. And you think about the dragon statues you've got, and you think this person may have slightly more of a knowledge or more of a collect. And you do see that he does seem to be a collector of things. This isn't a mishmash of. This is a very organised shop. There are certain places, and everything's very tidy. And this is much more of someone that's, rather than just having a jumble of things, is very much a collector of things.
Yeah, so I'm going to say
I couldn't help but notice all the dragon iconography. You definitely seem to be a collector of sorts. Now, I might have something that might interest you.
says with a bit of mystery, and I kind of do the whole open cloak sort of hold these things.
I came upon these.
I came upon these.
Don't ask where I got them, but I think they might be right up a collector like yours, alley.
And they were, so to clarify, that was without pulling the page book up, it was 280 for the set of 5, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. He looks at them, he goes, oh, well, these are rather good, aren't they?
Yes,
And
they are.
And I'm sure we could stretch to, and I would say, make me a persuasion check, just to see which end, just as actually it looks at you, let me roll. Yeah, cool. Just roll.
That's a 10, so that means a 9, I think. No, wait.
He goes, I mean, I could probably...
It's a 10.
I could probably give you 280 gold pieces for a collection such as these. I can definitely pass these on to some of my great collectors.
You, sir, you have a deal.
Well, put the statues on the side for him.
And now that I've done a little something for you, perhaps you could...
You know, let's just go through what scrolls does he have, or what
Scrolls that he
items
has are as follows. So he's very much scrolls. He does mention that he's out. He doesn't need. He doesn't do potions. He very much sells magical scrolls, things like that. He currently has available a Thunderwave scroll, a Druidcraft scroll, a Sapping Sting scroll, a Swordburst scroll, a Hail of Thorns scroll, a Lightning Bolt scroll, a Prayer of Healing scroll. No, he doesn't have that. That's available somewhere else in town, but I wrote it on here, so I had my scrolls together, so forget that. And a Grasping Vine scroll.
Could you copy and paste that somewhere?
Yes.
And maybe with some prices next to them.
Is this going to copy and paste?
You are back. My bladder is exploding, but I got something to sell for this guy as well.
I think that's copied. So all those scrolls are available except for, because it's in the role, the Prayer of Healing. That's available somewhere else. At the moment, so the first, excuse me, it's 10 gold pieces for the cantrips. It's 60 gold pieces for the level 1s. 120 for the 2s and 200 for the 3.
Okay.
So it's 10 for cantrips, and then 60, and then 120, and then 200.
There's a level 4 there.
320. Whilst he's thinking about what scrolls he wants, did you say... Oh, Quent's just popped out. Okay, I thought you said he had something to sell, but he'll be back in a second. Cool. Quent, did you say you had something to sell here?
Yes.
Okay, so whilst he's looking at those scrolls with his... and dribbling slightly, and in fact, he comes over and goes, sorry, can I... And he gives him in that... He doesn't want him dribbling on the scrolls. He looks to say, can I help any of you with anything else? Are you a group? Are you all together?
A little bit of both. But I got a couple of things you might want to be interested in looking at. I have an artistic dragon amulet apparently.
Oh, that's one of the ones that Arlo just sold. Yeah, you did say you took it, but
You said specifically one of them was more autistic than any.
there was,
anything
but it
else.
was still one of those 5.
Right. See, come on, people. Take better notes. So, Arlo, you had 4.
Well, I get something else then.
Okay. So you've got the money for that as a group.
Right. Well, in my inventory, it's probably still there, a smoky orb.
Smoky orb? I don't have notes of that. Where's that come from?
I'll work out where the original note was.
It is a magical item that displays what you concentrate on.
Yeah, about the amulets. Yeah, I've put a note in brackets. Quent took the 100 GP one.
Wow.
Told ya.
But anyway, it's part of the 280 that Arlo just bartered for.
Right, so I'm gonna get some from that anyways.
He looks at the orb. Duh, 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 duh. I don't know where I got that from.
Week 16, glass orb, smoky. If you think of an image, it shows it.
Nice. He looks at this is rather interesting. Yes, I mean, does it do anything? I mean, it's very smoky. Does it do anything does it do anything magical?
Well, if you think of something and concentrate on it, it will display it in the orb, I'm assuming. Try thinking of gold.
And he thinks he's looking at the dragon things, and he thinks of a dragon. All of a sudden, a dragon appears in the orb, and it's like, oh my, this is rather nice, isn't it? And he goes away, takes a few minutes, comes back, goes, I could probably, I could probably give you a couple of 100 gold pieces for something like this. I'm already thinking of a client that's got quite the imagination that would get a kick out of this.
Sounds reasonable. Is this something we need to roll for to see if we can get better or better? Yeah, well.
So yeah, let's get we're gonna get the stuff on the table, and then we can make a deal.
Yeah.
What are we thinking, Arlo? If you made a decision on scrolls,
I have the Sapping Sting scroll and the Lightning Bolt scroll. So that's 210.
I knew you'd get lightning bolt. I know you so well. Right, so let me grab that.
Well, it's a good spell. Plus, we've
is
got
a good
someone else
spell.
who can do Fireball at the moment. You must be worried. You've got 2 people with Fireball.
So you've currently got 210 that you're trying to buy.
Yep. We've definitely got 280 on the table for the necklaces. Although I'll take the gold out of my own one after I attempt to barter. So I'm sure we can just split the 280 at the moment.
I'm pretty sure this guy.
So looking at the 280 at the moment, so if you say that there's a 100, so you've got 180 in your dragon things and Quent had 100. So you've got 180 in those.
280 in those.
Are you saying Quent's?
Quent's got that. So if Quent had his one separate and he wanted to sell, if we're going to say we'll deal with Quent, so Quent, you've got 100 gold in amulet and you've got a 200 orb. Did you want to sell that as without buying anything?
Yes. Also,
So you can.
I wanted to ask because I have a couple of hides, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't want hides.
No.
But maybe
He'd look at them and they'd be like,
maybe he knows where one can sell displacer hides.
Ruined.
oh, magical
Poor
displacer hides.
Poor quality.
He would look at them and go, oh, this would be. I do know I mean, possibly Aurora would take something like this. So she would. It's a shame these weren't fine. If these were fine, I'd probably take them. I could sell them to wizards. Oh my goodness, the things they could enchant with these. But in this quality, oh, yes, it's a
Well,
shame, really.
I'm a bit of a noob with when it comes to that, but hey.
So you can add, because to move on, you can add 300 gold pieces to your inventory. And that's done. And then take those 2 items out. So orb's gone, your dragon thing's gone. The other dragon things then are 180. So you've now got 180 in dragon statues, which is theoretically, I don't know if it's party funds or not, I don't know what you guys did with it, but theoretically you've definitely got 180, whoever took those, and you currently want to buy how much in scrolls?
210. So I'll just take that off and we'll deal with the 180 in a minute. Oh, actually, again, I want to try and barter first. So,
Yeah,
you know,
make a persuasion check.
I'll actually give him
These
guidance.
scrolls
this time.
look
No,
a bit
I can't do
a
that.
bit tattered. I mean, I'll take them off your hands if you want.
But yeah,
All my stuff is pristine. What are
Alfred
you
looked
talking
to
about?
Guidance.
Yep, guidance.
yeah.
I mean, these are all perfectly wonderful.
There's it's like 8.
So he's
I
He looks-
also offer Arlo my 15 gold pieces that I have.
How greedy is Arlo?
Yeah, I was going to say, Arlo
He-
has
he
like
would- he
very-
would-
I would
look
say
at
your
Frost in
character. I would say your character wouldn't do that. You wouldn't give up all the food money that you've been given to survive on just so that he could buy scrolls.
DM, he's a
You're
cleric.
not Tazar anymore. You're not like his pet. You're like a guy that's been sent along to assist them.
No,
I'm not having it.
Over the last
No.
few days,
No,
He's not letting Arlo take advantage of. Arlo has
you've
about
got to play your character. It's more that you got to play your character. Your character wouldn't give up his last food when he doesn't even know how he's getting back if he leaves the party, just to give this guy some scrolls that you don't know, who's actually been quite rude to you. So
Arlo is quite rude.
yeah, think about what your character would do. And that's not you would maybe want to buy something, but not scrolls. You might be interested in buying the scrolls, but I think you can cast without the need of scrolls. So you're more interested. You want to save your money or get some money because you really want that hammer. That's what you're thinking of right now. That fucking hammer. Right. So
Right, and I'll
210.
just for the sake of brevity, so I got 180. We'll split it between the party. Technically, Eagle is not, like you just said, he's with us, but he's a guide at the moment, not a party member. So I'd split it between Quent, myself,
Well, also,
and Ashley.
Well, Quent took the 100.
took the 100. So
Gwen took the 100, so the other 3 of you would have. He wasn't there for that, so if you'd have split them at the time, you'd have taken 2 each. You and you'd have probably, someone would have taken Tazar's, unless you want to hold some for Tazar. Effectively, you've got 180 gold, and that's 60 each for Tazar, you, and Ash.
So, well, let's just split it 80-80.
Okay.
We'll deal with that later.
So
Obviously,
both of you add 80,
you mean?
and then
90?
that's those dragon statues. 90, indeed, and that's the dragon statues sold.
And Eagle, don't worry. Assuming your character becomes part of the party, we've got you. But right now, it doesn't make story sense.
Yeah.
No, but I imagine he will. So it's kind of like, but let's get the gemstones sold. Let's get the things you want to buy, and let's go because time's passing.
Right, and let's just, for the sake of argument, say that I've got from here the gold value of the stuff I'm going to need to put it in my spellbook, and I'll deduct that later.
Okay, you can do that for now to take out the amount for the scrolls. So that's done, and I've written them down. If you want to add them, we'll talk about that off the air. Okay, so then you've got that. Do you want to wander back to the place, or do you want to go get paid?
I think we need to get paid.
Yeah.
For the sake of brevity, because you will come back, and it'll be a lot easier to add it, because once you meet the guy, there'll be quests, there'll be stuff, there'll be things. So for the sake of brevity, let's say that you've been paid.
Okay, so the payment was... I had this written down somewhere.
I think it's 250 each. I think it was 250 each.
Okay.
I think.
250 each and 2 potions of healing.
And we already got the 2 potions of healing.
You got the 2 potions healing at the time, so 200. So everyone, including your newest member, because Unthal will be like, well, you've joined with them. I believe you lost a member, etc. So he would give it to. So everyone now has 250 more gold, including you, Eagle.
Yay!
So add that 250. So you've now got that 250, and you wander back. Did you want to pop in the plant store?
Yes.
Because you've got the herbalism book that you're now attuned to. Proficient, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yep.
So you got past the plant store, and it's...
Yeah, no.
Look. Oh my goodness, customers! Welcome. This is Favilio Kita is what we have here, and we have a whole array of cool plants and herbs. You look like you're as old as me, young man. My name's Albertus Flumen. Good to see you. What's your name?
Well, hello, Albertus. I've recently decided that I need to take up a hobby, and I've found this book recently of herbalism, and I thought that would be a great way to pass the time. I seem to do a lot of traveling, you see. So I was wondering.
What would I really be wondering? What do they have? Because I know this book would allow me to make.
I'll send you the thing on this.
Cinder root potion, a potion of fire resistance if I had cinder root.
So you've already got. So yeah, you learn. So what is it? What is it you want to buy? You want to buy some cinder root. Is that right?
Perhaps.
Okay. Da. That's interesting. The guide doesn't have a prices on it. Just give me 2 seconds.
It's free.
Everything's free if you can run fast enough.
Well, you could. That's true.
Possibly not with those horsey guard hells, whatever they're called. Hell riders.
You're like, well, I'm sure we could dig up. I would say, because I will find it, but yeah, Cinderroot is it's quite rare. Cinderroot, you don't find it in many places. I would say, let's see if I can find some at the back. And he goes out the back, comes out the front. Yeah. I can tell you some Cinderroot, and it's enough for you to make.
Guidance.
Native to volcanic regions, packing a potion of resistance, of fire damage. For your first potion, enough to easily make you enough for probably a couple of potions. Maybe one to fail, one to succeed, or maybe both succeed. You never know. He will sell you a small packet of Cinderroot. And he goes, I can sell you this for 1 gold.
I'm not even going to barter. I'll say,
Here you go, my good person.
and
You just taken up the habit, huh? This is quite a calling that we have here. Roll me a d20.
that is a 16. 16.
And he goes, a man of your, shall we say, age...
Plus, Eagle did say guidance, so for
You don't
no
need
other
this.
reason...
So this is a straight d20. This was this is relevant to the guidance. This a man of your age and attractiveness. No offense, you understand. You might be interested in something that I've used. And he sort of pulls out a pocket and pulls out a little roll of paper. He goes, have this on me as you're learning your trade. And he gives you like a recipe for Siren's Call.
Ooh.
And it gives you a recipe for a filter of love, and the main ingredient of which is Siren's Call, which is a flower.
And I'm assuming he doesn't have any of it on him.
He goes, do you know what? I'll have to get a batch in. I do go through quite a lot of that myself.
Why, thank you. It's turning out to be a very interesting hobby indeed. If I ever find some new recipes, I'll be sure to share them as someone who's part of the community.
Oh, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay, so without further ado, moving back to the magic shop. Welcome back to Aurora's Emporium.
Ooh, that was really...
So glad that I saw you. I was worried you wouldn't come back. It feels like it's been forever.
Oh, Quent, do you want to try and give her the...
I want to sell these displacer hides. They might be a little bit poor, but at least they're better than nothing, right?
She has a look. She investigates.
I was told you gave good price to just about anything magical.
Yes, what I would say is these are, and she kind of looks at it, and it's not the best quality. Not the
Obviously.
best quality. I don't think. Obviously, making like a cloak of it would be wonderful, and I think if that was the case, but I think at the very least of which, this is almost like you can get the blood and things out of it. Maybe I could get some vials. I could probably give you 10 gold pieces for each of them.
That is fine. And I noticed you also have a couple of healing potions still lying around.
Yes, we have. Yeah, we have some healing. All the items, and she starts to go away, and she's clearly just put them all away, and she brings them out, puts them back on the table.
Well, don't need to bring it all out. Just need healing potions.
Yeah.
She has how many? Two.
So she has 2 potions of healing.
I will buy those 2 potions of healing then. So that would be a deal and like 80 gold total.
80 gold pieces to her from you, and you get 2 potions of healing.
Yes, we shall do that.
Okay, done.
Goody.
Okay, so what have we got left then? So we've got the gems we can sell, and we want to potentially get amulet, hat, and mace, depending.
Yeah, if we can barter, like I will definitely have a look at the mace, the hat.
So if you put the mace and the hat, and what else did you want?
The amulet.
So the mace, the hat, and the amulet, you're looking at. So I've got a range of prices, including bartering prices. So the price she quoted would have been 3, 4, 5, 50, 1,050 gold pieces.
Ooh, by the way, just noticed I have this here scabbard here with dragon motif. Maybe that would be something, or maybe that's back in the other one. Probably
Back in the other one. Yeah. No.
Nope. Okay.
And so then we've got the 6 gems that the 5 gems, because Arlo's got one, that she nominally offered 300 for, but we think are worth 500.
Yeah.
So
you put with the gems, just without role play, gems on the table, nothing else on the table. So gems on the table, would move it to. And now make me a persuasion check. I'll Ash.
Guidance.
1,050. That price doesn't change. That price does change.
14.
The healing potions would have been cheaper as well.
What am I doing? Persuasion.
Yeah.
So +7 on that. 21.
820. So we got that doesn't change. 5. That was 9. So it's 1,150, by the way. 1,150 goes down to.
That was the number I'd got. I was waiting until we got to total. Yeah.
Goes down to 1,080 with the trade-in of 200. That is 880. With that roll, 850 gold pieces for the lot.
Okay. I think we should do better than that. Because the stone should have been 500 off, so we should, even without bartering.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. I'd forgotten that I went on the low end of the prices with that roll. I'll up that. So then that's, what did I say, 1,080, so 600 gold pieces.
Okay, that sounds entirely reasonable.
265.
200 each. Although I'm not sure who's going to use what or what you want to do with it.
Well, I think nominally, because Quent's done.
I know that Arlo wanted the amulet.
That's what I'm saying. So
although I don't think Arlo would wear the amulet, because I've just looked and I've only actually got one thing that needs an attack roll, whereas I think Ashrin has a lot.
Okay.
Okay, the amulet wasn't tunable, was it? Which was good.
No, it is good. That's what I'm saying. It's amazing.
Okay, I'll go for the amulet then. The mace would obviously be more.
The mace and the hat.
Alfred.
I just don't know if it's gonna be.
And then the hat we can sort of pop around as necessary. Now, you obviously don't have a lot of gold because you've only really got that.
It's got 250.
I was going to say, so...
But as an actual player, he's involved in everything, so I think in general, you can work it out.
Oh, yeah. So, what I'm saying is, if you, like, chuck 200 in, and I'll chuck a bit more in if I'm going to have the Clockwork Amulet.
Minus 200.
2 hours of shopping, kids. 2
So
hours of shopping.
I chuck...
Remove 200 gold pieces. Done.
I chuck 300 in and then convince either Arlo or Quent to do 100 or...
Arlo put 100 in.
Arlo's just burnt 150 gold adding spell scrolls.
Ooh.
So, Quent, do you mind helping Ashrin convince your friend Quent?
Well, it's more convincing him on Alfred's behalf that...
Well, I mean,
if we have
theoretically, he
somebody
could
else
also
that
wear
can
the helm.
bashy-bashy.
And I think he'd like to wear the hat that turns his eyes red.
That's true as well.
He's gonna have to roll for that.
Yeah, because
Come on, Ash, roll for it,
Quent
baby.
has intimidation, and so does Ashrin, so it'd be good for either one of them.
We can definitely share the hat.
Yeah.
That's sure.
Let's see if I can convince him. 16
Guidance.
plus... A bit late, but... 16 plus 7 anyway is 23.
Fine, I'll drop the 100 gold.
Hey! That's amazing.
Always
Right,
let the dice do it.
we're going to take a small break. We've done some shopping. We've not done much else, but we're going to head... So we've already... With the way that we've worked, we've kind of timed this. So they did some shopping. They found the shops. They went and got paid. They came back, did the shopping. But actually...
remove 300 gold, not add 300 gold. Sorry.
What then happened is... This happened after what's about to happen, because they're about to now meet when they get paid on Tharfroom. They're going to head to... Where are you heading to, guys? As I go back to my location notes. You're heading to...
The north.
Taverns. The pair of black antlers. And when we get back from break, they'll arrive in a par, and we'll do some shit.
Could you drop the thingy so I can attune to it whilst we're breaking?
I will have a... Is it not... That should be a normal item. Can you not add it? You should be able to add the Lightbringer in.
Yeah.
It should be there. I think I created all the items in this thing.
It is in the list of magic items. Just go onto Manage Inventory, type in
Manage
Lightbringer,
inventory, add
it'll come
inventory.
straight up.
There you go. I added all these items ahead of the game.
I
Need
shall
to pee?
refresh. Yes.
Right,
okay,
drop to the thing, take a break, add the stuff, add everything you've bought, guys, including your potions, and we'll see you in a second.
Man, it's expensive being a wizard.
I see
we're back.
torpedoes.
Or at least most of us are back.
Okay, so shopping is done. Let's head out back to the city itself, shall we? Right, let's go back to El Terrell.
It's fun, and everyone's just looking through their inventory. It's like, what can I sell? What can I sell?
Yeah, I think next time for things like selling, really, you need to do that. All things you want to do it as part of the same thing, but it's tough. Right, so we've been shopping, you've been around the market, you've found everything you can find. You're now trying to find your way to the pair of black antlers. Who's going to helm that?
Arlo's going to have his book open, and he's going to be busy looking at scrolls and spell books, so he'll let other people get on with talking.
I'll roll to see if I can find it.
While wearing your helmet or not?
I intimidate the streets. That way.
So you knew it was to the north, so you should head out the marketplace to the north.
Yeah.
Make me a check.
I think at this point, Eagle would scream, "Guidance!"
Yeah, probably. Oh, it was much better. 11. I think north is north or something.
North is north. You head north. It takes you a bit of time to wind your way through the various streets. It's quite spiraling, as you can see, and quite confusing. But as you follow the main north pathway, it leads you up. And if you scroll the TV screen up a little bit, you'll see you eventually head up and go round and over a small bridge. Look left and up.
Oh, up here. Right.
So here, basically.
Yeah.
And as you head that way, eventually you do find yourselves up in the area of the pair of black antlers.
Looks very pretty up here.
It's a cozy place. That is a maze.
Certainly, the dirt that I'd put on before, I'll now clean off.
Nice.
And anyone else that's looking a bit scruffy, I'll give them a
Yeah,
bit
and
of
as Arlo overhears that with his head in his book, he's like, "Yes, yes, very, very pretty."
Completely absorbed.
Do you think he'd appreciate it if I cleaned the dust off his book?
Well, you can try. It'd probably break down in tears on the side. It's like, "No, the smell is the best part."
Yeah, I won't.
So the tavern
That's
stands.
like prestidigitating the syrup off someone's pancakes.
The tavern stands on the west side of the Mainsbridge Street, just south of where the road swings west to cross over the bridge that it was named for. It runs around the northern end of the city. Now, I would say probably, again, Quent and maybe to a smaller extent. 1 second. Would all of you roll me a history check? Let's just do it that way, it's easier.
History? Oh crap, that's a -1. And on a fucking nat 20.
Oh, that'll do. It's another nat 20, though.
So 19.
7.
The dice is a nat 20.
24.
So, you certainly heard of it. I would have said Alfred may have heard of it because he didn't roll, but certainly, and as Quent's getting near, I think he's almost like that. You have heard of this place. It is outside of the city. The pair of black antlers is best known. It's one of El Terrell's most famous taverns. It's a gathering place for adventurers, old, young, new, bright-eyed would-be's and weary old retired adventurers sit side by side. It's a labyrinth, many leveled tap room, sells many ales, beers, and stories. And that's kind of you definitely, certainly everyone bar Ash has heard of it in some way, shape, or form. It didn't first click with you. Oh, the pair of black antlers, of course. It's famed in El Terrell. So you walk up, you go in. When you walk in, you notice that as soon as you walk in, you do see that, in fact, a set of black antlers are over the bar. They're not what you think. When you first think about this, you think it's like a pair of black antlers. Think of it, it's like, what was that? These are gigantic. Like 20 feet across is how big these antlers are that stretch the length of the bar. You also notice as you walk in.
Yeah, the whole length of the bar. Are you talking about? Yeah.
Pretty much, you know what I mean. I think I did. Let me grab you guys down. So you walk into the bar, and
I think this bar is a lot bigger than it looks.
multiple floors, and yeah, it's famed. So you walk in, and you notice the pair of black antlers above the bar. The place is pretty busy now. You're heading into the evening. You've done your shopping. You notice around on the walls various different relics and what you know, pictures and claws and hooks and everything else of long dead monsters, fading maps of treasure that may or may not be real, if you know what I mean. It's maybe and you do look at the thing, you know what, is that blood on there, or is this just is this just faked? But it does give an air of reality, almost, that this was a map that was searched and found and is now here on a wall. Yeah, you walk in and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Arlo would kind of be talking to Ashrin and trying to educate him on all the things on the wall. You know, saying things like,
You see that boy? That's the dagger of Asherin. Yes, and this is the great map of X and Y and Z.
just trying to, yeah. I don't know whether Ashrin's interested in any of that.
You do notice.
I'll be humouring him.
You notice over at the bar.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
At the bar, there's a group of adventurers, and there's actually someone there that appears to be giving. Yes, so we need a band that's gonna head down and take these shape-shifting doppelgangers on. Like, well, I don't know about that. I mean, it's gonna cost you at least 1,000 gold to clear out like a nest of doppelgangers. You say nest? Doppelgangers going there. That's what we call it in the team, and the term is nest of doppelganger. One, and then you've already walked past. This is clearly a place where people come to hire adventurers, as well as everything else. And then you actually go past someone. There's a cleric at the bar there who's just sort of in there, and he's actually got a little sign in front of him saying "Curse removal, 500 gold pieces."
Yeah. Arlo's going to whisper to Ashrin and say,
Philistines, it's clearly a den of doppelgangers.
That's very good. And so you what do you want to do?
So there's lots of little question marks all over the place. But well,
I mean, almost certainly.
all right, okay, so no, Arlo's he's overpowered with the desire to correct someone's nomenclature. He's going to interject in their conversation and say,
Any true adventurer would know that it's a den of doppelgangers. Nests are for beasts, and doppelgangers are clearly aberrations.
He just stops for a second. Then mid-conversation, he looks at you, he's like, so this nest, and then the guy's like, so you say, do you think you know better? I mean, we are looking. I mean, what would you charge to clear out a den or a nest of doppelgangers?
what would we charge to clear out a nest of doppelgangers? Arlo's going to turn around and look to the party and kind of shrug, doing the, are we going to do this?
I'm just trying to think where our quest chain is. Do we have much to do beyond this at the moment?
No, we went to Greenest. There's some dragon cultists. They're trying to raise Tiamat, which sounds like a bad thing. So we should probably deal with that. But while we're here,
yes. Okay, so that's why Alfred came with us. That's kind of why. Why did he come with us? Yes, right. Okay. I mean, we could always, while we're here, take on a.
And this guy turns around and goes, "Excuse me, are you trying to steal in to my negotiations?"
Well, you clearly do not know what you're talking about. I mean, a nest of doppelgangers. You'd more likely get killed and replaced and come back and take the reward, claiming to have killed them when actually you're the doppelgangers in disguise.
Well,
No. Someone like you is not fit for the task, I fear.
And he sort of turns round and he goes, "You hear this? We have rules in here." And he taps the thing, and there's a little sign on the wall saying, "No stealing another man's job." but in very broad strokes.
Right,
And
he's just going to say, I wasn't stealing your job, I was just pointing out you're not competent to do it. And it looked to the person who's given the job, but if you do want someone who does know how to do this, feel free to give us a call, but no, go on and have your little conversation with the amateurs over there.
He Oh, the food has arrived, guys. The food
serving
has
wench
arrived.
is so
The
cool.
serving wench. I'm in the bar as well. I just want to point out that check.
You know it's
okay.
good when it's Scotch eggs runny in the middle.
Exactly, and that's cooked as well. Like it's amazing. Right, so long
Wait, is that
story
a
short.
Scotch egg?
What? Sorry.
Is that a homemade Scotch egg?
That is from the farmer's market.
Ah.
It's made by someone else, but I'm eating it.
Speaking of
Scotch egg.
homemade stuff, we've got a cleric making a rolling over there.
Yeah, I'm making some rope here.
Looks very involved with scissors and everything.
So, you extricate yourself from that tussle for now, and he sort of goes away, goes, oh, and they're like, maybe we should find someone who's a little bit more professional. He goes, oh, I've never in here. I'm going to be speaking to Ondar about this.
So, in the meantime,
Arlo doesn't intend to come back here anytime soon, so he doesn't care.
we'll go up to the bar and ask if Ontar's around and have a
So Onfar Froome and
round of drinks.
Leosin.
Yes, a round of drink sounds good.
And a tepid water.
So you basically spend a bit of time in here. I'm just going to write my nose, sorry. And you wait around, get a drink. Give it a drink. I put the price in it. So if you're getting 3 drinks,
Well, 3 that cost money.
we've got a selection of drinks in here. You can just get a standard ale in a tankard. That'll cost you 3 copper pieces. 7 copper pieces will give you like a hand keg, or hand keg pulled special ale. We also have stout on tap, which is 5 copper pieces per tankard. If you wanted something a little bit more for the arty-farty man around you, you got 6 copper pieces for a nice tall glass of wine. It's the cheapest wine we've got. It does go all the way up to 9 copper pieces for some of our nice wines. If you wanted to go a little bit even, man of your stature, and he points over to you, actually goes, you might want a little sherry. That would cost you 1 silver piece. Or if you wanted the most expensive drink we have in the house, of course, which I know some people like, it's called an Elverquist, and that will cost you 4 gold pieces for a tall glass of that.
Since you've recommended it, I'll have a sherry.
There you go. Take the money out.
I will take the keg was 7. Was it copper pieces?
Mm-hmm. Don't mind me. I'm just eating pickle off the floor.
Floor pickle.
Floor pickle.
It's all
Okay.
added flavour.
The hand pulled keg, 7 copper. Get rid of that. Anyone else who wants to buy anything, take your set out. Onthar, you're looking for?
Aye, yeah, we've got a bit of business with him.
And so he sort of walks over, and you do now see in the table over in the corner, you actually spot Leosin sat there with a big man. Let me see if I can find you his.
Oh, Leosin's here as well. We weren't sure whether he'd be here or not.
I don't want to show you his character. Can I just show the bio bit? That doesn't matter. I mean, you're not going to fight him unless you want to. So
Don't
you should be able to see his character sheet. So you can show a picture of kind of what he looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like that. He's a big guy. I picture him as Brian Blessed. Picture Brian Blessed. And he sort of like, someone goes over and he sees you over there and he speaks to Leos and he comes over and goes, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, this is wonderful. We've been waiting for you to arrive. Tell us, pray tell us. Come over to the table. And he beckons you over to his table. Tell us stories, regale us with tales of your adventures.
Okay. So we'll go over and start describing. I mean, I could try and roleplay it all, but this could take a while.
5 years later.
Maps everywhere. Right, so first thing I'm going to ask, so what, are you holding anything back?
For now, we won't mention that we took the eggs. We'll see what his comments are about. We might mention there were eggs.
One.
Well, I was going to say, because I think that's what we were saying, wasn't it? We may end up having to give him some eggs, but maybe keep one ourselves or something.
Well,
like that.
remember, the eggs that were there were kind of the ones that weren't quite hatched yet.
Yes.
So there would have been eggs that had hatched.
Yeah.
So we did find a hatchery. So
Yeah.
we were telling
So
them.
yeah,
we
we won't be
found- we
very
found
specific about
remnants.
taking eggs, but we'll mention there was
Yeah.
hatchery and.
So I'm going to ask you one question to the person. I imagine Ash is leading the conversation. So as you tell that, he goes, and there was a
Arlo corrected
hatchery.
me.
Oh, and
with
we
an
will also
hatchery
mention
full
the
of eggs.
cultist in the mirror.
And so you mentioned the cult. So prisoners, wonderful. I'm sure we can get those out later. We'll get one of the boys to interrogate them. And he's looking through the papers, and he calls Leosin over, and he goes through it, and they look at that.
So just for a logistics point, can we actually dump the prisoners out of the mirror? Because we said we'd let them
Again, we'll do that. We'll just say that for now he knows about it, and you will. He then goes through the papers and says, "This is going to tell us." Yes, wonderful. And okay, yes, and a hatchery, you say, with eggs in it. Crazy. But now, had all the eggs hatched, or were there any eggs left? Should we send someone round to collect some eggs?
All we found were eggshells.
Okay, so he answered. So make a deception check.
Ooh.
Guidance.
Yeah, 10.
Okay. It's like just the shells, you say? Yes. Okay. Well, that's a shame. Would have been good to have gotten some of those dragging eggs. We could have maybe got some information. I don't really know what we would have done with them, I suppose, but it would have been good to have had them. Maybe we could have held them to ransom or something. But how many eggshells were there? Now, I would say that you would know. So, do you want to tell them roughly how many there were in total that have broken, or what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I would probably say there were, if you were to collect the shells, try to reassemble them, might have been like 10, 15 or something like that.
I think there was 7 or 8. But yeah, so you're saying the full amount, including the ones you got. He'll be like, well, let's just hope they don't all turn into dragons that can come and kill us in the future. Anyway, let's not ruin the night. Wonderful stories. At this point, he sort of whispers something loose, and the Osin goes off. And you don't pay for a drink for the rest of the evening. The things are brought over, everything's there. He turns around and says, we don't actually have rooms in here, but don't worry. There's a place just down the road where some of we put up adventurers that we need to, and I'm sure that we can find a place for you, for you. Now, I did hear that you lost a fellow comrade, but I see you've got a suitable replacement. Will he be travelling with you for the next leg of your journey, or is he just here to escort you here? What do you think?
Arlo's going to pipe up, and he's going to say,
I want to make this very clear. No one will ever be able to replace Deza. He was a dear friend. If you know of anyone with powerful enough magic to bring him to life, I would give anything dearly to do that. It pains me so that I won't be able to see that charming face again. That lovable idiot.
And he sort of like slides what looks like a strong drink in your direction. So, of course.
and overcome with
Unfortunately,
emotion, he will uncharacteristically just chug the drink.
make a Constitution saving throw.
I saw this in a vision. He rolls a 2.
Oh, wow, amazing! So you drink it, and you are instantly drunk. You don't drink.
He doesn't
So,
drink.
like,
He's got no tolerance.
you're very emotional right now, and you are. The only real thing you've got is you do have, we'll say, in this state, you just have disadvantage on all skill checks.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're a little drunk and you're emotional, but he consoles you a little bit, and he sees that this has hit you, and he's like, okay, and he's like, to be honest, that's powerful magics. I know there are strong clerics, but this is way beyond the regular fallen comrade that you can get back. This is a much deeper thing. We don't have anyone of that sort of level, unfortunately, here. Possibly if you were to, I mean, I don't know. And he goes, he sort of speaks, there is no one currently available to do something like that. Because I know that there are people maybe within our organisation. I will certainly see what we can find out. Maybe I could find someone. But certainly, have you managed? We do have people that can hold these things at bay and maybe keep the body available to be done on that. I don't know if that's something that you can already do.
Oh, I know it's so rare. If only I were an archmage, I could cast a wish and just bring him back. But I'm just not that skilled. But my friend Wonderboy over here, through the power of natural raw talent, I guess,
Definitely drunk.
has just pulled nonsense out the air to keep him from decaying. It is just my wish that one day I'll become powerful enough to bring him back.
The evening goes on. So for the moment, you can't get Taser back. He does bring the conversation back. He goes, we are looking for... And the conversation gets a little serious. As the night goes on, you start to sober a little bit, and the conversation gets a little bit serious. He goes, we need to see what your metal's like. Sorry, wrong person. Well, I mean, we do have many things that may need to be... many missions we need to go on, many things we need to do. Tomorrow when we wake up, come back here. We have a series of challenges, a series of games we're going to play. We're going to have some fun. We're going to put you guys through your metal. We need you to do something. And time is crucial. You understand? Crucial. And it's important that we get through this. And we move as quickly as possible. Hopefully you'll be with us. I don't know if you were going to be wanting to carry on this journey with us and help us out. What do you think?
It kind of feels like we've started something. We need to finish
It's
it.
what Taser would have wanted.
And the gold along the way. Can't say that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to come with you guys if you're willing to let me travel along with you. I'd be more than happy to join you on a short-term basis.
That's very kind of you, Alfred. Very, very kind. You are no Taser, but perhaps you one day might be able to fill that hole.
Or be able to bring him back.
You know, I hadn't thought of that.
He's got some
You
of that
don't
whole
know true
healing.
resurrection, do you?
I don't at this precise moment. Maybe as I get slightly a little bit higher, I may be able to learn it. Who knows? Down the road, I don't know myself.
You never know what you're capable of until it happens.
Yep.
That's my philosophy to magic, anyway. Arlo might have a different approach to magic with the whole books and that, but for me, you just sort of you wake up one day and all of a sudden you can do things that you couldn't do before.
Yep.
So, Froome goes off, gets another drinks, and Leosin is stood there, not sat there with you. Pictures of wine now around the table, few drinks, and he looks at you seriously. Maybe talking to probably Quet Nash, as Arlo's in his cups a little bit, and he doesn't really know the other guy, the new guy. He's like, my friends, we have many important businesses to discuss. At this point, you know almost as much as we do. And thanks to you, we know twice as much today as we did 10 days ago. Something rotten is afoot. We've no formal organisation to oppose these rascals, not yet anyway. We are working on that. And we need people like you. People who know how and when to fight. And how and when to keep their heads down and observe. We can't promise you anything except long days filled with danger and stress. But what could we do better than that, eh?
I mean, this unlimited wine doesn't hurt.
More wine!
I don't suppose I can get one of those kegs to go, can I?
Has he already drank
They're
his
not kegs,
first
they're
keg?
from a keg. No, they're from a keg. It's hand pumped from a keg. So it's the difference between going and getting an ale in a pub or getting like cask. Basically, there's cask ale and there's like a keg ale. It's basically the premium ale in the pub. It's a two copper more.
It's a small keg, so you know.
No, it comes from a keg, but it's hand pumped. So rather than having the swill out of the little jug, you're actually getting it out of a keg. It's very nice. Right. So, anything else you want to achieve this evening?
Don't think so. I must admit, I didn't go back and look, but I don't think so. I think we're fairly good until he tells us basically the next stages over breakfast.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I will ask Leosin one thing. Very, very serious question.
You agree with me, right? It's a den, not a nest. It's a den of doppelgangers.
And he's a little bit drunk at this point as well. It's like, it's den of doppelgangers, nest of doppelgangers. Surely it would be a. I mean, den does sound maybe right, or maybe a rookery of. Oh my goodness, it could be so many different things. A herd of. No, that would be a collection, wouldn't it?
The rookery, man, they're not birds.
Maybe a warren.
Yeah, so I think that this is like an hour's worth of
It's like
conversation.
an hour to 2 hours of the conversation.
And by the end of it, they're just saying,
But when is a door not a door?
So you go off to your beds. A room's provided for each of you. Stabling is provided for your horses at no cost, so you don't have to pay anything for your rooms. Okay. Morning comes round, and a new day is done. You walk out into, effectively... Where's that? But let's go with that. There we go.
so Eagle, or Alfred,
Yes.
right? I am taking Fireball off my spell list for a bit and putting Lightning Bolt in there, so you are the man responsible for incinerating giant groups of enemies for the time being.
Okay.
It's a heavy responsibility. Take it seriously.
I shall definitely try.
Remember these key words. I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball.
So basically, over the next couple of days, Onthar's room sells you to the cause. I mean, he shows you exactly how his organisation works a little bit, how the adventurers that they have here works to start off with. There are some competitions that I had, and we're going to go through a few of those now. Basically, he's looking to what we want to do with you and where we're going to be going forwards. So we're going to spend a bit of time on that. The first thing we're going to do is, and he looks over, he goes, so what we're looking for now is someone who you think would be able to show the strength of your group. I see that you decided to hang around there, Alfred. You're going to stick around with these guys, are you?
Yep, for a little while. If they're
like
willing
it.
to have me, then I don't. see
Four
why.
is always better than three.
Could I just ask, because our cleric knew that we were going to do these challenges and things today, would he have put enhance ability maybe as a spell on his spell list?
You can ask him if he wants to do that.
Would you have done that?
I don't think I have an ability.
You can change your spells every day if you want to.
Okay.
So if you were to talk to him the night before, saying we're going to do some challenges, would you like to bring that spell? I'm sure you can do it, and you can tell him how to add that in a little bit.
Yeah, so it's a level 2 cleric spell, and it basically lets you well, give people advantage on a whole bunch of stuff.
Quick guidance. If you go to spells and go manage spells, you'll see there are a bunch of spells that are prepared and a bunch of spells that are known. At any point, you can hit delete on any of the ones. You can hit unprepare on any of your prepared spells, and then you can go to known spells and go learn. So you can just switch over any night. You can't do it during the day, but at night you can do it. So at the moment, you can go to prepared spells and get rid of one.
Okay, so which one am I getting rid of?
Whichever one you want to get rid of.
I would say, looking at this sort of situation for today, knowing the skills you would know, you would think something like, you're probably not going to need too much in the way of temporary hit points or healing, so maybe aid. You would probably always want to keep hold of the spell Bless. Command is quite useful. Flaming Sphere, that's always prepared. You can't ever get rid of that, so that won't help you. I would say maybe the spiritual weapons, spiritual guardians. You want them in long term.
Daylight is a bit superfluous since he can actually cast it.
Always prepared.
Oh, right.
It's one of his always prepared spells, so that's always there. So I would say for now, possibly think, aid is probably not the most important. You could possibly unprepare that. Then go to your known spells, and just add the one that he said. What was that one?
Enhance ability. You can cast it, and then for an hour, you just choose the ability, dexterity, charisma, intelligence, wisdom, strength, whatever, and that person essentially has advantage on
it. Gives people advantage on them, yeah. It's a high-level spell slot, but it can be useful. And once you've hit that, you should be able to close that, and then that'll be in your spell list. So just unlearn from your prepared, and then go to known and click learn, and then that's you done. Meanwhile, a strength challenge is what I think we should start with. It's always good to start the morning with a good constitutional check. What do we think, gentlemen? Who do you want to bring forward? And all of a sudden he goes...
I think, do we all just look at Quent?
Boris!
It's a second level, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for example, you could save it, but you could just cast it on Quent, and he'd have advantage on all strength checks or constitution checks. Or cast it on yourself, and you have advantage on, wisdom.
Enhance ability. Just go to the filter and put in EN, and it'll be there. Right, who needs to move on? So who's doing... It's a strength contest, I feel. Who are you going to bring forward?
It would probably be me, I guess.
I knew that would be you, big guy. Quent?
Everybody in the bar knew that.
Meet Boris. Boris, meet Quent. Now, obviously, strength comes in many forms. Strength of will, strength of challenge, the strength of a fight, a good fight. But I find fighting, battling, is best saved for the battlefield. And I think a good way to test someone's strength is in a good old-fashioned arm wrestle. Boris, here is my strongest. Let's split him up to go against yours. So, I'm going to need a arm wrestling competition. Now, did you want to cast Enhance Ability on Quent?
Or are you saving it for later?
Or are you saving it for later?
I'm just reading it right now. So
well, the summary is...
It just gives him advantage.
Just choose a skill, sorry, not a skill, a stat, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, whatever, and just say he's going to have advantage in anything involving that.
Yep. So we are definitely going to. Yeah, I was just seeing which ones what it can give.
Strength or constitution. He's doing a test of strength. Do you want to give him advantage on strength checks?
Yes.
There you go. So make sure you get rid of the spell slot. So you've used a second level spell.
And it's also concentration.
So don't cast any other spells that are concentration whilst he's got it for the next hour. Quent, you have advantage, you bastard. And you're gonna go. So as he casts it, is there any verbal, somnatic? What is the components?
All of them.
Give me a minute.
So as you start to, you pull out a little feather, and then you probably use your focus. You pull your shield up.
No, it does say components per feather.
But you can always use, if it's not a costing component, you can use a focus. So you would use your shield at this point. You would probably pull the shield out, and then you would do a little circle, and you would do a little verbal command. At which point, Froome would go, "Ha! Prior preparation and planning as a team. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. You see that? You see that, Boris? Who's giving you the? I don't know what he's doing, but it's clever. It's teamwork. This is what we're looking for. Fabulous, fabulous. And then he walks away. He goes, "Okay, let the games begin." So, Sarge, I need you to roll me a athletic. So, you have a choice at this point. You can. So right now, the first thing you need to do is make me an athletics check
Yay. Advantage or not?
with advantage.
A +6 athletics check. Which is a good thing I got advantage because that would have been a natural one.
That would have been
But
shite.
instead, it's an 11 + 6, so 17.
So 17. Okay.
Dodge that.
Oof. So you start off, and you go, and you're at the table. You look at him in the eye, and you just start straight away. And you're on it, and you then look at him, and he looks at you, goes, "Oh, you think you're gonna win this? I think after this, I might have to do something." And he doesn't intimidate. He tries to intimidate you. So make me a charisma saving throw.
Who has the helm, by the way? Ashrin or Quent?
At the moment, neither of you said you'd put it on, so we'll come to that after this.
Quent has it, but yeah, possibly not on at the moment.
Nope.
Make me a charisma. Make me a charisma saving throw. Not with advantage, but
Not
neither
with
of those are good.
Okay.
So I'll let it go. So all of a sudden, he turns to you and says, he maybe he's like, you may be strong in this, but you've got no chance against someone like me. I'm gonna, and he's quite frightening in his chat, and he intimidates, and he's able to intimidate you to back. So now at this point, you can try to intimidate him back. You can use a strength check, or alternatively, if you like, you can try and use some kind of technique to go over the top or something. Basically, you can do an athletics check, an intimidation check, or a acrobatics check. Knowing that this, obviously you've got enhancements on strength, so you would get advantage on strength.
Or you could rage.
You could rage.
Which would actually give you advantage on strength checks anyway, but anyway.
Well, in that case, might as well rage then.
So as he intimidates you, you're like, no! And now, and you're going to give me an athletics check with advantage.
Yes. And that would be a 9 + 6, 15.
Ooh, and he's holding you at this middle point. He's holding in the middle. You have started to just tick him down again, and he's just going down ever so slightly. At which point he's going to try and use he's going to try to maneuver and use a technique, because he's clearly not got you beat on strength. You are clearly stronger than him, so he's going to try and do a technique, and he fails. He's trying to use his dexterity to, much like in the movie Over the Top. He tries to get his stomach over the top, but you've seen this before, and he's not able to do it. So you counter him. Make your final athletics check.
Arlo's going to be talking to Ashrin, saying,
See that boy? It's very sloppy technique. He'll never be able to defeat Quet like that.
15.
Oh, 15. He's holding on. He's holding on. He knows he's probably beat. He doesn't see any way out of it. So again, he tries to look at you in the eye and intimidate you. And he's gonna turn around and says, "Oh, well, you may beat me at this, but I'm gonna beat your ass later with a stick." It's getting quite weak. He tries to make a charisma intimidation check, but he rolls a 4. So you make me a charisma saving throw.
That's a 5.
So, oh, Jesus. But it's like, he is quite intimidating with his checks, and you're picturing him trying to beat your ass with a stick, but it doesn't bother you, it doesn't faze you. And with a final push, one more athletics check. Ooh.
11.
You know what? He holds on, and he's at the cusp, and he's trying to pull it back, but ultimately, it goes down, and you're able to beat him. Wonderful! Wonderful! I tell you what, you're powerful, the powerhouse of the group, and I see your new friend there was able to give you a tip or something to keep you on your game, and I saw the rage in your eyes, and I feel that it's very good. the day goes on. Mostly people now are sort of drinking water and things to get. And you see some other contests taking place. You're not the only people here to try and work through to what's going to happen. This is almost like you're actually taking place in the courtyard of the bar, and there's a few different things set up. And unfortunately, the really cool competition, which that was set for Taser, the archery contest. So he goes. I believe you used to have a sharpshooter among you. Huh? Yes, I was hoping to get him the archery contest, but do you know what? And then you actually notice someone come out, and they've actually got rather than having like the circles, they've actually got straw dummies set up at the end, and there are some people, and what they're doing is and they're actually casting spells at it. Hey, does anyone fancy I believe you've got a major two among you. Does anyone of you want to show the power of, maybe not with a weapon, but maybe the power of your spells? So we're going to adapt the archery contest maybe to be more of a contest based on cantrips.
Unfortunately, I don't have any. I don't have firebolts.
Ash?
And I don't think.
I
got Ray of Frost.
I've got Ray of Frost. That's sort of.
That's good. Yes, that sounds like a challenge.
And a guaranteed 10.
Okay, so you do see there are each section of the dummy has various.
Now I'm going to whisper to Ashrin before he starts.
Now, Ashwin, perhaps you might want to bless yourself or something.
I was going to say, can I drop the concentration? Because
this would be over an hour later now. This would be, as we go through the challenge, this would be like another hour later or something. So if you wanted to do another spell, you could.
I'm going to do a cantrip. I'm going to go guidance on Ashrin.
Okay, guidance is for one check, but yeah, that's fine. So does guidance work on attack rolls?
No.
Okay. You would know that as well. So you would know that he would need Bless, would be the spell that you know that he would need. So you'd have to use a level 1 spell. And that would give him a +4 to his attack roll.
Yep. So
okay.
Unless you want to cast Fairy Fire on the target.
But then everyone would get that. So you see, there's 2 or 3 people here. So what we're going to do is I've already got... what you're going to do is if you hit the head, it's 10 points. You hit the body, it's 5 points. If you hit the arms, it's 2 points. We've got 3 dummies out there. What we're looking for is the first to get to 25 points wins the competition.
Ashrin casts Magic Missile.
Yeah.
I hadn't ruled that out. But you did say...
So the first guy steps up. The first guy steps up and he... pulls out some fire in his hand, and it flies forward, and that bounced off a natural 20 to a 2. It was like 22. And it fires wide, and he's like, "Hey, Steve!" And it goes to the second guy, and he's like, pulls out this it's not a magic missile, but it appears to be some kind of it's poison, like a poison projectile. And that goes forward. And that's a natural 1. That's a crit fail, everybody. These guys suck. And then it goes, and then Ash on the end of the line, he goes, well, Dave, that's not what I was hoping for, is it? Come on, people. Ashrin, I know you won't let me down.
Right, so what am I doing? Just rolling to hit and...
Rolling to hit and adding a d4.
Yeah. Do we know the DC, or do we find that out?
You don't know the DCs, but there's obviously difficulty depending on the part of the body you're going to hit. So you could try your thing, and then maybe if it's a great hit, you've done it. If it's a low hit, then you'll
Yeah. Fine. Right. Let's see then. That's cocked.
Is that a natural 20?
It's an 8.
Annoyingly, no. It's actually between the two. I'm going to have to re-roll it. From here, it looks like a 20, but it's not. Anyway, the plus is a
honesty,
3.
kids.
12 and 3 is 15, and I've got a plus 7 to hit, so 22.
You fire your frostbolt, smashes into the head, and then everyone, like, the cheer goes up. Hooray! 10 points for for Ashrin. And then the guy at the end's like, That's the noise. Oi. And he goes to the next one with his fire. Woof, and he hits the one that you hit, which is frozen the head. He hits it with the fire, which melts the ice down. And he's like, and everyone goes, "Hooray!" And it goes to the next guy, and he also rolls a 15 dirty 20. And so, and he then throws his poison, which catches the flame, and the whole thing just with the poison hitting the fire, the whole thing just woof catches fire and almost explodes the entire mannequin. And everyone's going, this is much more of a competition. Come on, Ash, you seem to lead the way, but you're the one behind, as in to go. So off you go.
Right, okay, let's roll again for now. Not so good. 2 plus 2 plus 7 is 11.
So yours just goes by the way. So can you change that roll afterwards, or is it before?
What, the amulet? No, I think that's instead of rolling.
Okay, so you've rolled.
The only thing I could do, given that it's a check day,
favoured by the gods,
is do favoured by the gods. Why not?
Right. So I foresee your favoured by the gods roll as a 13.
No, it's D4s.
Ah.
4 and a 1 is another 5, so 16.
16 hits. It scrolls forward. It obviously isn't a headshot. It hits it square in the chest. It's actually the DC for a chest shot. So it hits it in the middle, and it starts to like freeze up the middle of the statue. And it was like, whoa! So you are now on. Like, okay, so it's 15 points. 10 more points to go, my boy. Come on, guys. I believe you can. You can still do it. Everyone's in with this one. The next guy misses. The next guy hits a headshot. So, like the guy with the poison, from we'll call him Sylvester because he's got green things from Slytherin. Sylvester hits his head, and is like, and the crowd cheers 20 points. So it's 20 to 15 to 10 at the moment, but it's you with a shot in the guard.
Okay, right. Let's try. I don't know if this will work, but I don't see why it shouldn't. The amulet thing says instead of a d20, you can roll a 10, right?
Correct. Yes.
I could still add the blessed dice to that, presumably.
Correct.
Yeah. Excellent. Right, let's use the amulet then for today. So that's a 10.
So you touch the amulet, you got your 10, plus your 7.
17.
And you got roll your thing.
Plus 3, so dirty 20.
20 is what you needed for the head. Oh my goodness. So you were on, what were you on? You were on 15?
15, yeah.
So you go for the next one, and then everyone's just cheering, thinking, "Oh my god, who's going to win? This is so close!" And you freeze up the final head, and everyone gets off there, Ashrin. I mean, there's only about 8 people watching, but they're very excited. And he comes over and gives you a big hug. Well done! You know what? I knew Leosin wouldn't let me down when he said to gather a party of adventurers, and he really has done well. We're going to move on, and he sort of like gives you a pat on the back, and it knocks the wind out of you. You see, I wasn't expecting you to do that competition, but it's quite interesting. He goes, so the final contest,
like one a day things, but
the final contest is one that's rather interesting. We have, and there's many different ways that you could do this. And you go there, and you see that they've actually got these 3 creatures lined up on a track there, and these are like dumb, like bulls. Yeah, 3 bulls, bovine, big, massive bulls that are just stood there like, and like, so all you've got to do is get the animal to the end of the track. Do it as you will. Maybe you can coax it. Maybe you can get your strong man to push it. Maybe if you've got the arcane knowledge, you could talk to it, tell it to go to the end. All of these things are available. Or, of course, think outside the box. I'm sure you could. I'm sure if it's a druid, he might set a bonfire under it or something. And so, yeah, the competition is called the Animal Whisperer.
I have got this one, my boy. I'm going to use my head instead of my mouth.
So
That'll be a first.
yeah.
That was just thinking.
So
Okay, go.
here is how Arlo is going to try and get his to the end.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast a concentration spell
Right.
flaming sphere. Which I
It's
can
like a
use to
bonfire.
chase
It
it.
is like a bonfire. Okay.
Because I can move that as well, so it's... I've cast a flaming sphere behind it. Right,
Okay.
which obviously it doesn't want to get burned, so it's going to move, and the flaming sphere is going to follow it. Just far enough away, so it's not killing the damn thing. But
So
close enough.
far enough
that
away that it doesn't do damage?
Yeah.
Make me a spell. What's it called? A spell check, like your spell casting modifier. So do me a roll, add your spell casting modifier.
I'm just going to say it was a 13.
Just to see how. Okay, so 13.
13 plus 8.
So 21. So you place that sphere just far enough away that it's behind him. It doesn't catch fire to anything else because you've placed it well. It's a perfect placement. This thing's like, and starts to move forward by one space. The other two guys are like, oh, and one guy does a little symbol, does everything else, and all of a sudden he starts talking to the animal, and the animal's like, and sits down. He rolled a terrible persuasion check. And the other one's going to roll animal handling. Ooh. And it moves forward one space. There we go. Okay. Next time. So you're just going to move the fire one space within it, yeah?
Yes. Yes, I'm
Make
going to move...
me a spellcasting check.
Oh my god. That's a natural...
Oh my god!
Roast beef.
So you move it a little bit too close.
Too far.
And it just rears up and it just goes and so it's going to charge. I should have put you guys on a map for this, but
It's 3d6 damage, by the way. You need to make a dexterity saving throw.
It'll make a dexterity saving throw. It probably would have just singed it. It would have just cut. As soon as it got close, it was hot enough. It would go. So I would say it doesn't die or anything. It just belts and goes. So it is going to charge in that direction. So it's just going to start knocking things over, very much like a bull in a china shop, but a bull in a courtyard full of people doing weapons training. And it's just.
This doesn't sound like the best competition they've arranged.
As you look around, you just see Onthar look across to Leosin, look down at you, and he's like, wonderful entertainment! Oh, the little one! He's my favourite by far! Oh my goodness! I am sold. Drinks all round tonight. The drinks are on me, and we will discuss our plans for the morrow. You only had to pass 2 of the challenges, so the last one didn't matter.
It's a win!
Well, I mean, presumably he made the ball move a long way. He might just not.
He probably passed his thing. Yeah, he won. He just destroyed the whole area. Right, let's move on because we've only got like an hour left. We are going to move back into the bar.
The bar.
Well, that's not.
I'm actually looking at this spell and I might just keep it.
Enhance ability.
It's a good spell.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's the great thing about clerics. They're like a support class. Yours, like cleric, does crazy damage, absolute area of effect damage. But clerics in general, healing, enhancing, they're great.
Well, but that enhance ability one. So here's the best one that I can see out of them. So bear's endurance. The target has.
Guys, can you talk about this? Let's talk about this off the air. Right. So you're in a bar. There's a group of people gathered now. You're all around a table, and the first one, Leosin, approaches you, and he goes, "You guys have proven quite capable. I should introduce myself. My name is Leos. I know you know me. I don't know why I did that. What I should say is that I am a member of an organization known as the Harpers. We are working with the Order of the Gauntlet, who is Onthar Frum's organization. We're working together, and the top concern of both our groups is to stop now the cult of the dragon. In the past, the cult was more active in the east, focused on creating Dracoliches, but now it seems to have shifted here, and we do not know why. We believe that yet again they are trying to raise Tiamat. The cult is on the move. They're up to something big. And all we know is that we need to thwart their plans. I was hoping that maybe one or two of you, maybe would be interested in joining our organization. And he goes on to explain that, the organization's there. I know that some of you have already joined campaigns where there are organizations. Theoretically, if you wanted to join the Harper, you could get some early benefits. If you want to stay as a free person and not be beholden to an organization, you're welcome to do that. During the course of the evening, Onthrar comes up saying, I imagine that Elios talked to you about joining the Harpers. Of course, if you wanted to join the Order of the Gauntlet, we'd welcome any of you on board. I know that clerics and paladins mainly focus in our organization. I don't know if a man who follows the helm would be interested in joining along to would be sharing our ideals. Discipline is key, of course, in the Order of the Gauntlet. None of this whiffy waffy stuff. So yeah, would any of you be interested in joining an organization at this point?
Well, I can tell you for free, Arlo, being a coward at heart, is not really interested in being a do-gooder. So his general opinion to people like Ashwin and Quent would be,
Harpers and the Order of the Gauntlet are all bloody do-gooders. Right, give me a tepid water and a solid chair, and I'll be happy to let these people kill themselves.
he's not really interested. But for someone like Ashrin or Quent or, Alfred, I'm sure they might be more interested than this grouchy Arlo.
All they can really offer is the support of other members and allies. There is no pay at this stage. Maybe down the road there are pay. There are always pay. Of course, we pay all our adventurers. But ultimately, for being a member of the organization, it doesn't come with a wage. It doesn't come with anything. It just comes with the fact that you have a team behind you and someone to support you in the future and in an area. Maybe you can always call upon, if you came here, for example, there's always a free bed and somewhere to stay.
I've always been a bit of a loner. It's a bit worrying joining a group, although I've now been travelling with these guys for a while. Well, not so much Alfred, but been travelling with a group, and it does seem to be working out. I kind of like the idea of belonging, but I'm not sure about the commitment. What's your policy on people leaving again? How much of a commitment is this?
I mean, this is not a gym membership. You can come. I mean, in general, most people that commit, you're committed to do good. You're committed to do well in the world, and we don't really. When there's a call to arms, we'd expect you to turn up, but we're not expecting you to be at our beck and call and do all the things we need. I'd hope that you would do the good thing anyway, and we're hoping that. I mean, tomorrow we're going to discuss in a little bit something about what we need you to do, and hope that you'll take it on board. But of course, there's no one ordering you to do anything.
Oh, that kind of sounds like what I'd be doing anyway, then. Go on, then. I shall. Sign me up.
Okay, so you're going to join the Order of the Gauntlet or the Harpers?
Yes. One of those.
Put a pin in it, have a think about it, and we'll add that to your character sheet for next time.
Okay.
How about you, Quent?
Nah, I'm a free roving.
Free bird! Alfred?
I'm going to stay free right now.
What I would say, actually, is you kind of already are in an organization.
Yep.
Theoretically. So you would be like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Figures you would buy into the propaganda, Astrid. Oh, to be young and stupid.
Well, you are at
When
least one
you
of them.
get to my age, you'll realize that everybody's out for something. They may sound all good and noble, but they'd happily send you away to die. You'll see, mark my words.
So, thanks to you, we know a lot more now about the movements of the cultists. And he pulls the maps and things, the paperwork, and what he goes on to explain over the rest of the evening is they got a lot of treasure. You know that treasures in general are there to appease dragons. You don't know what their ultimate goal is. We just know that there's a big wagon train that is headed from their base, and you've learned from the maps that wagon train is headed up towards Baldur's Gate and on. and you're not sure where it's going onwards from there, and that's what they want to find out. Timing is the issue. The tracks left the cultist camp, headed from Mondath's chamber. So the paperwork you got from Mondath's chamber say that they were headed west to pick up the coast way, turn north to Beregost and on to Baldur's Gate. This journey is around 500 miles, would take them 10 to 15 days, depending on conditions. Maybe they took some of the eggs with them, and all we know is that we need to try to get to that caravan and find out its final destination. You, of course, have taken... Now, what we've established, what I've worked out, is you took approximately 5 to 6 days, thanks to all the tomfuckery and shit rolls, to arrive here. You spent the day shopping and then a night, and have spent this day. So it's been about 7 days since the caravan left, with maybe a 1 day's head start. So you're possibly that many days behind. He goes, but it's okay. The river flows directly from El Torel to Baldur's Gate. We have arranged a small sailing vessel that will allow you to make the trip downstream, in approximately 2 or 3 or 4 days, depending on how shit you roll.
Love how you're in character when you say that.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, in general, it's about a 2 to 3 day trip. The boat has been arranged for you to leave in the morning. We can also provide you with 50 gold each to cover your expenses. We were hoping that when it gets to Baldur's Gate, these caravans, they get bigger, they get, you know what I mean? They imagine they started their caravan as it is, but these caravans pick up all the journeys of the travelers. By the time it gets to Baldur's Gate, they'll have taken on board double the size of the caravan. We're hoping that you can get to Baldur's Gate before they arrive. Arrange to maybe get work on the caravan or pay to travel with the caravan so that you can then maybe follow these cultists and see where it leads. What do you think?
Well, boy, you're the harper. What do you think?
I've heard of this Baldur's Gate. I've never been there. Sounds good. Bit of sailing. Sounds good. And yeah, we
What do
really
you mean
want.
you've never been to Baldur's Gate?
Don't think I have.
I think we started the campaign then.
Did we? Oh, okay.
You have actually been, that's true. Yes, indeed. That's where the bookshop was in the... I remember it well. Yeah.
My memory is not good with it.
Literally the first episode, we went straight to Baldur's Gate. That's funny.
Oh, I don't know.
That's where
this
mate is from, isn't it?
This teleportation nonsense. I'm not good with it.
All this talk of do-gooding and joining organizations has addled your brain, my son.
So ultimately, they want you to find out where the treasure is going and what they plan to do with it next. That is the mission, if you want to write that down.
Yeah.
You had me at treasure.
They will be... So you've got approximately... So they're going to arrive in 10 to 15 days in Baldur's Gate. It's been approximately 7 days now. So by the time you leave tomorrow, if you were to take 3 days, they may already be there, or they may still be waiting to arrive in Baldur's Gate, and you need to get yourself to there and either pay for transport or secretly follow. However you want to find it out, really, but you want to basically get part of this caravan or follow the caravan to wherever they're going. What do you think? What do you think? Neosin, that was explained really well. What do you think, guys? Are you gonna do this for us, with us?
Arlo's already asked Wonder Boy.
Yeah, I'm. Despite not knowing where we were going, but now I've had it explained, I know where we're going. Yes, we could go back there.
What about you, Alfred?
Yep,
you were only paid to take us to El Corral. Are you up for this fool's errand?
Sure, why not?
Aye, let's go.
Well, if everyone's heading off, I guess I ought to come with you. Otherwise, you'll die without me or some such. But I won't be happy about it.
No, there's one thing. I believe you have
Always
met
another thing.
you have met the cult on a couple of occasions now. Yes.
Yes. we even have some of their robes, you see.
He opens the bag of holding.
I believe it's possible that they may recognize you in some way.
Oh no, we had masks on, except for that time that we didn't. But I
Yeah.
think we killed everyone
And,
that
he
time.
points over to, he actually looks over to the person that doesn't wear any armor, who's wearing the most ridiculous red Santa cloak.
I see your point.
You appear to have some very clear, distinctive clothing wear choices. In order to blend in, we feel we need to kit you out, shall we say, in something maybe more neutral, maybe more different, maybe more suitable. Come see us in the morning, and I will give you something for the ride, but you may need to leave behind things you've had before. It's my way of basically taking some of the gear you've got that's maybe slightly OP, but giving you something really cool and different. So, if you've agreed to do it, let's just say for the sake of brevity, because we've got half an hour to 45 minutes left, that a good night's sleep is had. Some drinks are had, I imagine more drinks. Are you having any drinks today, Arlo? Are you staying clear-headed on the tepid water?
On the tepid water. That was he wasn't thinking straight. He was very upset when he had that drink.
So you wake up in the morning,
Before
already.
I go to bed, I'm going to redo the... If Arlo can bring the mansion out, I'll go in and redo the gentle repose on.
Are we? No, we're not paying for beds. We're going to a bedroom to cast a mansion.
Yes, just so
Final
that,
day.
just so that I can recast the gentle repose before we travel.
Yes.
Final night of travel, Arlo's now sober. Did you want to do a quick roll to see if you can do any plant stuff?
Oh, I would go into the mansion. It's got a laboratory on the top floor, and I would have a crack at creating this potion of resistance. Because it's fun to have hobbies, you know?
Yeah, long rest, everyone. Long rest, everybody. I agree completely. So I need to find where the fuck I put the stuff. Now I need to put it in your character area so I can always find it. It is in location. Is it in location? Le taverne, le shops. It's not in shops. Oh, it is. There you go. Plants. I need to add this somewhere else, but for now, so make me a. So a herbalism check, which is, I believe, a roll, which is do a nature check. What is your nature?
+7.
Because that's got proficiency already, right?
Every skill which people don't normally take, Arlo has taken because he's
So
got
now that you
He's got
have the
nature, he's got
herbalism, I'll allow you to
history.
make. So make me basically, you can actually choose. Would you like to make a nature, medicine, investigation, or arcana check?
Nature.
Okay. So you can, because you've got the proficiency with the kit now, you can do it. So make a nature check.
And that is a 15.
A 15 allows you. That needed that, which you didn't get that. See, that's that. That's crafting with plants. What on earth was that?
Something about soup.
Nothing.
I think I'm gonna have to get Xanathar's Guide to Everything because all this is in there and all the links go to that. One thing I suggested. Yeah, I would say a 50. So this is for a potion of fire resistance.
Fire resistance, yes.
And what did you pay for the thing? I now have the cost now.
1
Excellent.
GP.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say that you are able to. We'll change that because I've now read it. It's 25 GP.
My gold.
We'll say for the sake of it, he gave you a really discount because you're a new person. So you can have one out of the dots you got. You have got enough for one potion of resistance. Realize that potion would be about 90 gold normally. So if you find the gear and then you're able to do your kit. So yeah, that will say for now you can have that one as a freebie. 1 golder, and you're successful. Obviously, it's risky because you may fail. I will have a look at the expanded rules of crafting in Xanathar's Guide to Everything to get the full details for the next session. Remind me
Okay,
to do
I've
that.
added a potion of
Oh,
fire
I think we
resistance.
must have that to everything crafted an item. There we go. There's a whole fucking thing here. That's amazing.
Oh, there's all sorts of interesting things if you read it. What happens when you chug 2 potions at the same time? There's a roll table for that.
Yeah,
There
so
is.
what I'll do is I will have a good look at this, because this has a whole bunch of stuff about stuff that could happen if it goes wrong, and etc. etc. So yeah, and also there's a price of common being 50, etc. 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 Yeah, it's cool. So we've done that, but you have managed to get yourself 1 potion of fire resistance. You have got a good night's sleep, no issues all round. You wake up in the morning, and it's time to
Roll
head off.
divination dice.
Roll your divination dice.
A 16 and an 18. That's nice.
You head down to the docks. I have a button for that. I like that music as well. That's annoying.
Do they have any birds down at the docks? Ducks, maybe?
Ducks.
Ducks at the docks.
I mean, I do have a little duck.
Okay. A sailboat has been provided with a very basic crew. Literally, it's a small boat. Your horses, with a little coaxing, are brought onto the boat, put on the front, tied to like a post and everything. You're basically able to get them on. You get yourselves on, and Onthar's there. Safe travels.
Before we leave,
Be
what's
safe.
happened to our garb?
Oh, and so the garb, and that's what I was just doing. Thank you. Chapters, mission. He pulls you aside, and is but maybe as you're about to leave, he goes, "So, we thought about each of you and thought something that might be quite useful. Well, maybe losing what you already are wearing, that you might find this useful. So, what are you currently wearing, Quent?"
A fur-lined dress.
That will need to go.
Ashrin has the other one.
But in return, you will get a Cloak of Minor Protection +2. This will give you a +2 to your AC whilst you wear the cloak.
Yeah, so
So you get a +2 to your AC.
rather than +3. But you only
Yes.
had +2 up until you took that one off Tazar anyway, so give or
Yes,
take,
but-
you only had an
And
extra
you don't
+1
have the
for-
charisma bonus, but it's not one of his stats. So yeah,
Favourite
+2
part of
to your
every
AC. So you
campaign.
will need to take off the other item, and you will put on a Cloak of Minor Protection. That does exist in the game, and you should just be able to add that. He looks over to you. I figured you might like this, Alfred. It's the item that's worn by those that follow your path. And he pulls out a Everbright half plate. Everbright items are incredibly shiny and incorruptible. They're immune to rust and corrosion. You have a +1 bonus to your AC while wearing the armor. Twice per day, you can use a bonus action to make the armor shine brightly. Creatures within 30 feet looking at the armor need to make a Constitution saving throw or be blinded for 1 minute. It does give you disadvantage on stealth because it's half plate, but basically it's a +1 half plate with a bonus. I believe it needs to be. It should exist. You should be able to add that, the Everbright half plate, and you can put it on. You didn't have anything that you need to take off because as a new player you had fuck all, so you got the best item.
We stole your stuff.
It's really fucking good as well. It's like, that's a really good. It's an uncommon. So there you go. He looks to the other two of you, and he looks towards. I think it was Arlo, and he pulls out these robes. He said, "This might be something that you might like." It's called the Adventurer's Robe. It's a plain robe that's been specifically enchanted to meet the eclectic needs of an adventuring mage. Aside from protecting the wearer from various forms of crushing damage, it also provides protection from Basilisk's petrifying gaze and the polymorphing powers of rival mages. You basically, it is, if you're not wearing an armor, your armor is 11 plus your dex. And
Yeah.
you get a +1 to petrification and polymorph.
Oh, that's actually really good. And
But
surprisingly,
it's-
crushing damage has happened to Arlo more than once.
Yes.
Let us never forget when a book tried to kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, you should be able to have that Adventurer's
So,
Robe.
what's that called again?
The Adventurer's Robe.
Okay.
If it's not there, we need to add it. I didn't know I added some of it. For you, Big Boy, he looks at you and goes, sometimes I think you look like somebody gets more up in it sometimes. So we've got this, and it's an elven chainmail. It's a +1 to it's a +1 armor as well, and it's so you're not. I don't know if you're able to wear chainmail as a sorcerer. I imagine not.
No, armor none in terms of proficiency.
So you are considered proficient in this armor, even if you lack proficiency with medium armor. So this allows you to wear a medium armor, even though you lack proficiency. It's also made of interlocking metal rings, and the chain is it seems really light, and it's almost like it's made of like a mithril material. So so basically, it shouldn't give you disadvantage on stealth checks either. So it's a medium armor without disadvantage on stealth checks, and that you're allowed to wear.
But presumably it won't stack with mage armor because it is still armor.
It will not. Correct.
So
You would
probably won't use it much, but we'll see.
But I believe as a chain, it would give you more than the mage armor.
I'll have a look and see.
I think it's a +3 with a +1. That would be a +4, which is the same as mage armor, I think. So it'd be the same, but you wouldn't have to cast a spell.
Which would be nice, yeah.
So there's that as an option, and there was something else. But you would have to give up, and either way, because of the thing, you do have to give up the thing that you really like.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, that's my biggest problem. That'll drop my charisma by 1, so all my pluses to hits go down by 1.
I know. But it was massively overpowered. And I mean, what he would say is, he goes, this is just, I mean, if you want to keep hold of those things, and then you know, you can, we're not going to take them from you, they're worth your money, but you know, keep these whilst you're with the caravan, because otherwise, you know, you may be recognized. So it's more of a case of like, if you put them on, you're more likely to be recognized. You've got a good replacement if you want to use it instead. Basically that, yeah.
So, sorry, Elven...
And there could be some serious risks if you were to be recognised.
Yes.
Is what I will say.
Yes, yeah. So,
Elven chain. Whilst you're all adding, the boat starts to pull away. You wave to the dock as you go. There are 3 members of the crew that sail it, including a captain. And he heads out into the waterways of the Kiontar.
Oops, I didn't mean to roll that. I'm trying to remember how I overrode my... There we go. That's how I did it.
Silly question. Does the adventurer's robe count as armor?
I
Just
don't...
because it's treating it as armor on D&D Beyond.
Okay, don't know. I'm not sure. It does say armor.
It does say light armor.
It does. It says armor/leather, so it should give the same benefits of leather armor, but as a +1. So again, I'm not sure if that would be as good as mage armor.
We'll sort that out later.
Yep.
I was going to say, I think mine's better. No, I can't remember. Anyway, we'll figure that out. We're on a boat.
You're on a boat.
Anyone
You're sailing.
Anyone attacked us on the boat? Did we get directionals on how to sail the boat?
You have 3 crew members.
Oh, right.
The main 3. It's a small boat with 3 crew members.
Okay.
I've lost my book, which upsets me immensely. So I can't randomly roll names really easily. So I'm going to find a quick name generator rather than having my fun one. But Captain Klein is the main guy on the boat. And we also have Jingle. That's a great one. And, let's go for a dwarf. We have a dwarf on the boat. And his name is Amnus Mullen. There we go. Jingle is a half-elf. As you spend the days with them, you have 3 days. We're going to do some rolls. You'll learn Captain Klein is a human and has been captaining and running. He runs up and down these waters fairly regularly, so he knows the waters quite well. He mostly does trade for Onthar and the Gauntlet, and carries things between Baldur's Gate. So it's a regular route for him. It's his regular crew. He's usually a 3-man crew. Jingle's been with him a while. Jingle tends to be more of a bard type, although he's more of a singer than a bard. and Amnes Mullen is just like a deckhand. He knows the sails. He's there. One question for the four of you before you do any rolls: does anyone have any background of sailing? Does sailing in your background, or any proficiencies in sailing, or is it one of your, you get your known stuff that you can do?
Nope.
I don't recall putting sailing in this one.
Sailing's a great one to have. That one time you need it.
Yeah. Don't think I did.
Arlo just needs sailing. He's got to
One of
bring
my
us swimming.
characters had sailing, but I think that was Stabby.
So no one has any sailing. So yeah, you won't know anything about it, but you'll be on it. To be honest, you won't need sailing unless you roll shit. So yeah, and depending on how shit. So who wants to, we have a potential few day trip. As you set off in the lunchtime of your first day, who wants to helm the first day's travel? Oh no, it's not. We're not doing it that way. I decided to do it slightly different. I need two of you to roll me a straight D20.
Okay. Looks like Quent. Oh, that's not bad. Shall I risk it?
15.
And a 10.
Clear day's travel. You make good time. Fun under the boat. Stories are told between the group. You learn a little bit about each of the sailors. You learn that Jingle was brought up in Waterdeep. He's Arlo of Waterdeep. I'm from Waterdeep myself. I spent quite a few years learning all my sailing skills on the seas around Waterdeep. Funny stories about how there was a dragon under the water somewhere there. I don't believe any of that nonsense though. You are tuned to any of the items that you need. You're now attuned to your mace, the Lightbringer. Hopefully, everyone's doing wonderful.
It's not tunable.
Yeah. So
that's correct.
So
No, it is attunable. Is it
gonna,
not tunable? Okay.
No,
Cool.
it doesn't say it's
Okay.
tunable.
Okay.
Arlo's gonna grasp for any knowledge of Waterdeep that he has. He's gonna say,
Well, did you ever meet that that person they had wanted for murder? I mean, what was his name? That Jax fellow. He was a sailor, wasn't he?
Probably before my time. I moved out. I moved out this way. Recent a while back. So yeah, I've not. I don't really know.
Oh well, when I was in Waterdeep, he was quite the scoundrel, I hear.
I like it crossing missions over. Who's so the other two people that didn't roll for the day one roll for day. So yeah, anyone want to achieve anything on the boat? Anyone got any books they want to read? Any? You haven't got any more herbalism stuff, but you can probably read through the book and learn a little bit here and there. But
I'll peruse through my new hobby book.
yeah. Learning anything else? Anyone doing anything else? Any conversations you want to have? Anyone want to talk to your new member about anything? Telling him what spells he needs to cast and learn.
I'm gonna walk around in my new light chainmail. Like
anyone want to reveal any backstory or anything?
Ooh. Wait, where am I on this character? On Glam, I definitely do need to have a conversation with Toxie at some point.
Ooh. Toxie. Rob, I don't care about that. Next two people, whilst you're thinking about it.
I'll reveal some backstory for Ashrin. Right, Ashrin will be the back of the boat, looking off, enjoying sailing as all children do. And Arlo will walk over to him and say,
This reminds me of bad times, Wonder Boy. It isn't the first time that I've been on this river. Once, in harder times, I found myself fleeing from my home with my daughter. We floated down this river, past Eldrell, if you can believe it, on driftwood. Afraid for our lives we were. Terrible times. Pains me to relive them like this.
I'm just going to leave that hanging in the air.
I was going to say that definitely brings up more questions.
So Arlo's just going to be staring wistfully out into the river.
I mean, I've not been on a river fleeing, but I did have to flee from home, and yeah, It's where I got this rod from. It's not good memories. At some point we'll have to say more, but as you say, it's painful to think about it.
I mean, what caused you to flee? If you don't mind me asking.
And if you're wondering where that dog's coming from, there's definitely a dog on board the ship now.
So I'll do the prestidigitate sparkles in my hand. Well, it's essentially this. My natural abilities. They're kind of scared. Is it my mum's side? Yes, yeah, my mum's side of the family were very scared of it, and they did things that to me that I wasn't happy with. This rod of retribution that I now use against people that hurt me, they used it to hurt me. I think that's what I said. Yes.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna kneel down a little bit because Ashrin is quite young and small. And I was gonna say,
Ashrin, you should never apologize for who you are. The power inside you is a gift. It should be cherished. Those who cannot see that, they are not worth your while. Believe me, boy, I may not act like it sometimes, but to have such power come so easily, I fear sometimes I may be a tad jealous. Don't get me wrong, I'm proud of what I've done, proud of what I've achieved. But you should not hide who you are from others. It is a blessing, not a curse.
Starting to understand, but I think, as you say, the problem is I didn't learn this. It just came to me. So the whole knowing how to control it and when I should use it, when I shouldn't use it, what I should be doing with it. It's that side of things I just don't have.
yeah. And then he's gonna stand up again and look out the back of the boat and say,
We don't always choose our own path, or the things that happen to us. God knows if I had a choice in what happened, things would have been so different in my life. Poor Maggie.
and again he's just gonna drift off in form.
Don't say drift off when you're on a boat. Falls overboard, I'm just going to drift off. Okay, let's...
I kind of want to know more, but I don't want to push him about it, because I've seen what happened, like, obviously in the underground bunker with the lights and stuff, and...
Firefly cavern. Firefly something?
Yes, that's it, yeah. So I don't want to push
Firefly
him too far.
Where he saw his worst fear.
Yeah, so I'm not going to push him too far. Just
Story, guys, I like it.
Bits at a time,
Okay, so, who didn't roll the first day?
We only had Ashrin roll.
No, it's two rolls. It was Quent and Ashrin, wasn't it? Yeah. So let's go the two people on the right of my screen. Alfred and Arlo.
Well, I get to roll 3 dice because I rolled divination dice, and I've got a 17, and we'll say that is my roll. So I'll burn one of my divination dice to try and foresee where we need to go.
Okay. Just a straight D20.
That's a 10.
Yeah. So again, another day goes by. You're making... The captain comes over and he's like... I'm making good... Captain was... Clyde, we're making good in good time here. We should be hitting... We should be hitting there tomorrow. Should get there tomorrow, I reckon, unless there's any real issues. But yeah, we should arrive in Baldur's Gate probably by the end of tomorrow. If you want if you've got anything else you want to achieve, I would imagine you could get that done in a day. But yeah, we're on our way. Let's move on. Good day's travel.
Dan, I'll bury my head in my herbalism book a bit more.
Moving.
Anyone else? Anyone doing any fishing?
So you rolled a
Bit of mage
17.
hand.
I want to look into my tool proficiency level because I get it says you gain proficiency with your choice of mythical brew supplies. So maybe I want to brew some beer or something. I don't know.
Well, that's a
Maybe.
long trip, maybe.
You don't really have the ingredients.
Okay.
So what did you actually have as your things? Have you chosen it?
So brew supplies.
Yeah, so you have the brewing supplies. So if you wanted to, when you're in a town, buy some some things that you could then brew. You get some from fresh water, some hops, whatever. You would have the brewing tools to be able to make your own beer. You could ask around the boat, see if anyone's having any, but you ask around and there's like, well, we already have some beers and things on it. It'd be good. If we'd have known you was on board, we might have brought some things on. You could have brewed us some beers on the trip. Save us just living on this swill. And they've got some ale that's not great.
Yeah, it's probably something we could, if you remember, we might be able to pick up.
Definitely try and do that, yeah.
And then you could start
100%.
it off and you could brew it in the mansion. Because I think carrying brew around with us might be a bit difficult, but you can always set it up in there.
Indeed.
Oh, have we even told him about the mansion?
You stayed in it.
Yes,
yeah, you
we
went
did,
in there
yes.
with him.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
did, yeah.
yeah. We just sort of dropped it and he just kind of
Yeah,
accepted it.
Yep.
This is a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna talk to Arlo about this mansion, and because obviously I know he's the one that cast it, so I am gonna ask Arlo about this mansion, and like I know I accepted it, but I've been pondering it for a little while now and how it all works. So yeah, I'm gonna ask him about this mansion.
Right. Arlo is going to explain to him about nth dimensional, end space, and how dimensions fold in on one another. And he will go into a very long and detailed explanation.
You just see his
And
eyes
I think he
glaze
just
over.
needs to roll whether he stays like.
Yeah, make me an intelligence check, please, Eagle.
Well, you see, when you take the Tesseract and folds in on each other, you create a pocket dimension.
Just underneath your thing, you've got your main roll, strength, dex, everything else. Just click on your intelligence. -1.
Damn.
That was a 16 anyway.
That's not bad.
It's good. You follow along. You're a wise man of the world. You've travelled. You're a member of an organisation. You've done. You know a little bit of this and that about magic. You're quite arcane in your light and fire abilities. So you pick up quite a lot of what you say. And a lot of it goes over your head. You don't really understand really the ins and outs of nth dimension, but you understand. You've heard of a person called Mordenkind, and you've heard that there's a mansion spell, how it made it permanent, etc. You're not really sure on, but you follow along. Yeah, you've got a good idea of where this thing came from. Do you go into any depth of where you got it from, Arlo?
Ooh, Arlo would not go into detail, but vaguely intimate that he created it. He wouldn't say like I did this or something. He would just refer to it as my spell book, my portal, my spell.
Okay, so you're not saying that you created it. You're just saying. Oh, okay, that's fine. I won't make you do a deception check then.
It's more like a lie of omission.
Final day. For the final day, I would like each of you to roll.
Okay.
Well, I've done my divination dice. I guarantee you it's going to be a nat 20 because Quentin's rolled a 1.
Okay.
Well, that's really interesting. So I'm going to need the other two rolls
8.
as we've cancelled those out. And what did you get? Taser? Alfred?
17.
Okay, so first of all, the day begins, and it's quite a nice day. During the course of the morning, one of the Jingle comes up to Arlo, you're human, right? Very
I am.
human.
Very human.
The half elf comes up and goes, I was human. I'm not such a. When I grew up in Waterdeep, you said you said you'd been there. You didn't really do any sailing around Waterdeep though, which surprises me. It's such a water-based. The docks and everything else, it really does. I feel that like part of my main upbringing. If you wouldn't mind, Can I impart some of my knowledge on you? And he actually will give you the knowledge of, he will give you the sailing background. And that 20 got you the background of sailing. It's not a huge thing, but it might be really useful in a minute. Because we also got a natural 1. The other 2 are in the middle and cancel out. But the natural, so you get the benefit of the sailing. Unfortunately, you also get the minus, but you don't get the full low minus. But you do, as the day goes on, the weather starts to pick up. It's suddenly starting to get quite windy. And the captain goes, "Hold on to your hats, everybody! Hold on to your hats! There appears to be a bit of a storm coming!" And all of a sudden it starts to get quite windy and brisk. You're still on a river, you're not on the big sea, but still, the winds are lashing this. We need to tie down the sails and fasten up the hatches. We're in for a rough one. And
Arlo would be like, what did Jingle say I had to do in these situations? Batten down the hatches.
So we need you to, each of you, we're going to go for a skill check situation. What do each of you want to do to try to help secure the ship? So you've got, you know, you tell me first and I'll give you suggestions if you can't think of something. Hey, who wants to do anything? Think about the boat, think about where you are. Who wants to do something to try and assist in keeping this on track and not losing any time travel? Travel time.
What can I...
Obviously, Arlo, if you want to go, you now have learned
spells right now.
You can do that. You've also now learned and have proficiency. You haven't added it yet, I don't imagine, but you can add proficiency to any check to do with just a sailor-based thing. Because he's already showed you the sails and the ropes. He's giving you this basic knowledge of sailing that morning. Did you want to try and use your newfound sailing skills to help you with this?
I will cast Unseen Servant, and the pair of us will try and batten down the hatches.
Okay. I will say that, therefore... so I would say sailing would be based off of survival, maybe?
It's okay. It's only a -1.
I would say it's probably... I wouldn't say it's nature. I would say you're sailing, you're on the thing, you're trying to control something. We'll go with survival, but obviously you can have advantage. What I would say is survival, that survival that you've got doesn't have proficiency. So you can cast survival and then add a +3 to it.
Right. I'm just like, do I use my divination dice or just go for it? I'm just gonna go for it.
You also have advantage.
That is an 18 and a 19.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, you call this hand into thing. And to be honest, like Jingle's looking up and it's like, you're really picking that up, aren't you, sir? Come on, and he's doing his little thing with the sail.
As the wind's going through Arlo's hair, he's like,
Yes, it's somehow natural. I must have been a sailor in another life.
And he rolled his check. And as he rolled his check, he rolled a natural 1.
Oh,
so suddenly, this big wave comes out and over the thing, and it catches him, and he starts to go. What does anyone want to do? Except for Arlo, because you're batting down, you've seen this, you're like, oh my goodness. Does anyone else want to try and do something to help Jingle?
To help Jingle?
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability right now.
oh, which swimming ability are you going to enhance? You're thinking, what, strength or constitution?
I'm thinking strength.
To who?
Jingle, I think he said. It's
Yep.
going to help
Oh, so
Jingle
you're going to cast that on Jingle as he goes over. Okay, anyone else doing anything?
I mean, if he's close enough, I'll try and grab onto him, but I don't know.
I'll give you the opportunity. We'll say that it's a fluid ship. We don't know people are. So everyone's trying to do stuff. If you suddenly see him go, you reach out to try and catch him. That's why I didn't know if he was going to cast it on someone else to try and save him. So you reach out to try and save him. So roll me a athletics check. And what are you doing in general, Quent, to help with the sailing situation?
I will try to keep the horses calm so they don't get in the way.
Do you know what? And if no one did, that was going to be an issue in the next round. So well done.
See,
It's like, no one's thinking of the... I'm like, no one's thinking of the horses. No one's thinking of the horses. Those horses are about to go. Horses are about to go overboard.
If Jingle hadn't fallen off, I was going to go look after the horses, but...
So
yeah.
Quent, whilst I need an athletics check,
Oh, dear.
from that. And I will say, I was about to say, because of the advantage for him, and he's reaching out as well, I'll let you roll with advantage, was what I was about to say. And you rolled first. Let's roll one more. Quent, you need to roll me an animal handling check.
Normal or advanced?
Normal for you. It was a good idea to do it. Wow.
It's a 3.
Yeah.
And if it's
And
athletics,
you
it's
want to use my
minus-
divination dice.
-1, so it's a 2.
Wow. So Jingle is gone overboard. And the captain's like, oh my goodness, okay, we need to deal with that. And the horses, your control, what was your role on the horses?
9.
So they are starting to rear up. And they're like, they're getting really nervous, they're getting really worried. None of them have broken free yet, but it's a concern. Yeah. So across that we have 1 second. There we go, back on the Shuntar. Yeah. So we had so far in that. So the first thing we had a success, and we've had 2 fails. Okay. So. And it's best out of 5. So we go round and what does anyone want to do anything else? So it's like time's still passing, the storm's still kicking off, the horses are rearing. Does anyone else? I mean, Quent, are you going to keep trying to pacify the horses? Does anyone want to help him? Does anyone want to try and get the guy from the water, or does anyone want to try and secure any sails or do anything else?
So he's gone overboard in the water, right?
He's now gone overboard, correct?
How far away from the edge of the ship is he?
Not far. This is 6x of 1 turn, so he's probably been carried 10, 15 feet over. He's literally probably just in the water, and he's swimming. And he's got, by the way, he's super strong. Like, as in he's got this enhanced ability on him. So because of that, he's fighting the current, and he's not being washed away. He's still within 20 feet of the ship.
Okay, since he's within 20 feet, I'm gonna run over, and I'm gonna shout.
Jingle, I know this sounds weird, but I need you to look in the mirror.
And I pull out this giant
You're oh, by the way, you did take the people out of the mirror and give them to him, so your mirror is empty.
Yeah. So I was thinking, do I throw him a rope? I'm like, no, you just put him in the mirror.
What is the range of the mirror?
That's why I asked. 30 feet.
Okay. So you tell him to look in the mirror. What's the saving throw on it?
It is a DC 15 charisma saving throw, but I don't know whether he would willingly fail it.
I don't know whether he would know to willingly fail it. He would look, and I'll tell you what, I'll roll that. He is going. I didn't say, but I thought, yeah. So it's a low roll for that. So he's too stupid. He's too stupid to. It's too. Yeah. So he fails. So anyway, he is sucked into the mirror. So I'll consider that a success. So that's 2 successes, 2 failures, and currently he's in the mirror.
And as an action next turn, if there's time, I might willingly release him.
Release him. We'll also go to Quent. So Quent, you're securing the horses. Did you want to call someone to help you, or do you want to just try and do it again yourself?
I'll try again myself, because I think people are busy doing other things.
Ash, looking around, do you want to help with that situation? Or you see the mirror and you see the horses. Do you want to go and attempt to help, or do you want to try your own thing?
I was going to say, unless there's anything else I can obviously see to do, until he fell overboard, I was going to do. So I'm tempted to go give Quent advantage.
So both of you, rather than advantage, both of you roll animal handling.
We've got the same modifier anyway. So
okay.
Well,
Because oh, he's already rolled it. I was going to say, because you roll so terribly, I was going to give you a 13.
You might want to give me a 13.
I mean, you were saying it as he did it. If you think, you've obviously seen the dice now. 13 would still be with your. You got a plus or minus on that?
+1.
So that would be a 14. Where's my DCs?
But there, that's my divination dice gone.
So divination is gone.
It's a nat 20 and a 13.
It was a DC 13. There you go. So
You really need a divination wizard in your main campaign.
between the two of you,
Yeah.
you're able to secure the horses down, and it saved you having to maybe lose a horse. That was theoretically, if they'd have broken free, I'd have had to attempt to break. So you've now had the successes you need. You're able to ride out the storm, and you don't lose a day's travel, which I think was crucial because you were tight on time. So you've managed to, you've managed to weather the storm without losing a day's travel, and you have now managed to get through. That was pretty hairy, I'm not going to lie. Whew. And eventually the storm calms down, and you sail back along, and you've made it. If the ship got damaged and you had to dock, you were going to get attacked by lizard folk. That's all I'm saying.
I love that mirror. That's all.
In the storm, baby. In the storm. Well, if you'd have had to stop for him and go back as well, who knows what would have happened? I mean, that'd have been a whole day's travel lost. But yeah, crazy. You managed to get through the storm just by the skin of your knackers. And you make it through.
I wanted to attack lizard folk.
I know, it would have been I was super excited about the fight, man. It would have been a good one.
I could have poked Eagle over there. It's like, now, fireball, now.
Yeah.
So
But, you know, there's plenty of time. So you let Jingle out the mirror, he helps out, you secure the boat back, and everyone gets in their positions, and you get through the storm. The day goes by.
Yeah, and I thank Jingle because his guidance on sailing was invaluable.
It was. That first success was massive. Especially considering there was 2 fails straight after it. Had you have failed, that would have been 3 straight fails, and 3 straight fails was an immediate having to stop for repairs, at which point, lizard attack. But yeah, no fight. Something no fight today. We're pretty much getting to the end of our session, guys. You have successfully made it through your final day's travel. As you get to the evening, so it was. Did I say it was? Let me just go back to my sheet. They've given us details. I can't remember if it's 2 to 3 days or 3 to 5 days.
You said 2 to 3 to 4.
Sorry, is it 2 to 4 days? Yeah. So a bad roll would have pushed it. Yeah. So
Divination for the win.
You can bring the boat. They'll make it here, and it is 2 to 4 days. So you've done the 3. So what I would say is, as you approach. As you get through the storm and you're approaching, suddenly in the distance, you see the lights of Baldur's Gate as you cleave round the river. As we go back to the main map.
And Arlo explains to our friend who's forgotten where Baldur's Gate is, that's Werb's Rest, the thing that we're about to go under a bridge before you actually get into the city itself. Anyone who's played Baldur's Gate will know what it is.
You know that, yeah. So you basically headed, if you zoom in at the bottom of the map, you can see there's Baldur's Gate. You've already been here as part of a, you fast travelled here, and then you did leave the city of Baldur's Gate and travel. That's where the Candlekeep's pretty close. You're actually quite close to your old stomping grounds of the Candlekeep and Beregost. That's like a couple of days to the south. They actually came up the caravan, and maybe right now passing around the area of Candlekeep, where I believe you've still got a quest to do for. That you didn't quite finish back in the day, a book, I think, that needed picking up or dropping off. So yeah, you've headed down the river. And so yeah, you are now currently coming into Baldur's Gate there, which we actually have another map for, because I spent a lot of time getting maps last night. I believe it's this one. Let's bring you down to there. And scroll up, because I didn't space it. So that is the bridge he was talking about on the far right. You come under the bridge. And as you arrive in the city, you're in the dock area of Baldur's Gate.
So that'd be Rivington. Yeah?
Yeah, so Rivington is over here kind of thing, yeah.
So Arlo will again just be talking to Asherin.
Legend says that the great dragon Asherin,
What was it? Answer?
the great dragon Ansa, sleeps beneath Worm's Rest. All just stories, mind you. No grain of truth in it.
And if you scroll to the bottom of here, you'll see there is, bottom right, there is your boat. Safely arrived in Baldur's Gate. I don't know how he reversed in. They must have a reverse on this boat. You know what I mean? Beep, beep.
Reverse thrust.
You have arrived in the docks of Baldur's Gate. You have, who knows how many days, who knows where the caravan is, who knows how you'll get hired onto the caravan, or will you pay for traveling the caravan, or will you just stalk the caravan from a distance? All these things you need to decide by the next session. No cliffhanger. See, if you'd have been attacked by lizard folk, that'd have been a great cliffhanger. But we've pretty much just managed to have a day, some shopping, some contests of strength and will, and a boat ride with just one skill challenge. But you know what? We got some backstory. Double bubble backstory. I'm excited. We've also got a new official party member as he's now joined. We've got new armors all round. We've got a cool, exciting new hammer. Well, by the way, just before we start the next session, who is having the dread helm? Is it the moment? So Quent currently has the dread helm. So Quent, you can add the dread helm, and if you want to wear it, I can't remember if it was a command to make your eyes glow red or if they always glow red. But that's if you add the item, we can look into that for the next session. Oh, right, guys.
You definitely agreed to share it. So
Yeah, I think we said for the moment, because he paid the 100 and you paid the 200 and your hammer's worth 500, we'd say that for now Quent can have that. Also, it's an intimidation
But
thing.
Arlo and Ashrin are currently wearing their own helms. We've got
Yes.
a helm of comprehend language and a
You
helm
guys
of dark
have got
vision.
yours. You got the shield and you've got your armor. So we'll give it to Quent and give him something from it for now. And maybe down the road it may switch. Also, it's an advantage on intimidation, and your intimidation I think is -1.
did you say Alfred got anything?
You got your armor
And the mace.
and the mace,
Mace, but not. I mean the armor, like.
the ever bright half plate.
So you need to add that if you can.
Yeah, I will have a look at that inventory.
You need to add the
I've somehow written
ever bright
every
half
bright, but that's not quite right.
ever bright half plate. You can add to your character. It is the best item that anyone got today. It's a very expensive. I think it's worth about 500 to 1,000 gold pieces.
AC 16, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, and twice
Really
a day
good.
you've got the bonus action as well. Yeah.
Twice a day bonus
that-
action to blind
That's
people.
so much
Yeah,
better.
blinding people is very useful.
That is so much better than what I had. My armor was 18. It's now AC of 20.
Nice.
16
With the shield,
plus
yeah.
2 dexterity plus 2 shield, yeah.
Yeah, back up to 20. It's where he likes. He likes to live in that area of 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean-
this is why clerics are so good, right? People underestimate them. They're like a wizard, but with armor.
Yeah.
And if you take the right cleric, like a war cleric, you can get that up to 22.
The difference
And then you put your armor, the spell of protection, whatever, 24.
The difference is that with someone like having Taser before as a gunfighter, having a 20 AC was just wrong because it's not right. It's supposed to be shooting guns and doing damage. Whereas your job is to be a tank and then fire the fuck out of everyone around you, which is kind of why it works. Whereas Quent's job is to smash. Quent, you didn't get to smash today, Quent, but you got to smash a lot in the last 4 sessions. All you've done for 4 sessions is smash.
I mean,
As you
still,
fought your
But
way
no
through that
offense,
dungeon.
Gwent is the richest one among us.
he still smashed what's his name as well.
He did. He smashed the
Arm
yes,
wrestling.
indeed.
Yeah.
Boris.
Quent.
Boris,
Quent.
that's it.
You need to ruin our DM's day by saying, before we go find this caravan, I have 900 gold I want to spend now in Baldur's Gate.
We haven't got any shopping set up in Baldur's Gate, but I mean, at the moment, what I'm saying is the shopping's done. All right, you bought your shit. If you needed anything in particular, let me know by the next session, and we can work that in. I'm going to assume that you will look at shops but not really find anything. Same with scrolls. I mean, you've had some scrolls. There is some scroll shopping in Baldur's Gate, but there's nothing that really grabs your attention. Is what
I
we'll
don't
say.
think I could even
Unless-
afford it.
Exactly that. So if there is anything in particular that you definitely want to get, not magic items, or say you don't find anywhere, you don't really have the time, you are going to spend. I mean, we
Yeah, I was
don't
gonna
know
say, we're
until
in a
the
hurry,
start of the
yeah.
next session whether you've got 1 day, 2 days, no days. They may have already come through and gone past. So we'll find out at the start of next session, and then
I can definitely tell you now. I want some equipment to make some for the next
Beer.
ship ride. Yeah, make some beer for the next.
I would say you can take that off now. You can just add some brewing supplies to go with your brewer's tools,
Yeah, we can
and
chuck
I'll
it in
say
a
you
bag
can
of holding.
find that for 10 gold, no problem, and then do that. So take 10 gold off. You can add that. We'll say that happens during the course of your travels through Baldur's Gate. You find that quite easily because you're about to be on a caravan for a long time. So yeah, anything you want to pick up like that, we'll touch on that for the next session. I'll send some message out. If there is anything like particularly that you want, you can obviously forage during the course of your travels on the caravan. But we'll touch the caravan trail and train next session. I need to go very shortly. So timings for the next session, guys.
This is where it gets complicated.
Some sort of Sunday. don't matter.
Some sort of. So when are we doing the? When are you doing Fandelver next?
Ooh, let me just look. So we have that down as 25th of Feb.
Which that's handy because I can't do the 25th of Feb. Because I'm doing the month thing there. So the 3rd of March, which is pretty much exactly a month from now, is the best day for me.
Yeah, because we couldn't do the 18th because it was Valentine's Day weekend for those of us who have partners.
Yes. So the 3rd is the best day for me.
Yeah, 3rd should
Everyone
be
good
fine
with the
for me.
3rd?
Yep.
Super
promising, yeah.
duper. The 3rd it is. So we're back on then for the start of the... It's almost, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't have the campaign open, I think that pretty much takes us into episode 4 of the book. It's on the road. But actually, you're in that now. That the trip down from Eltrell to Baldur's Gate. You are now officially in episode 4, which is super excited. Lots
Do you know what is
potential road traveling. Go on.
What is exciting is the next Sunday session is the return of DM Sarge.
Is that next week?
I
Very
the
cool.
11th, isn't it?
Yep.
So we're going to have the return of DM Sarge with his... do you want to describe your session?
well, it's all battle and no blah blah. I mean,
All
I'm
battle and no
clear.
blah blah. Speaking of
We'll
more
see
battle
if
and less
Fudd
blah
can make a
blah,
reappearance.
I'm hoping to
Well,
be sorting
we
out
already
an
got-
alien thing soon.
We got 2 people that's already reached level 5, so you're behind.
Oh, and I think, was it Josica Allier was going to make an appearance?
That is a thing, apparently, yes.
His character, let me just bring this up. Can I even find this?
And if there are anyone else wanting to join in, they are welcome to do so.
So he has got a halfling fighter called Josea Montoya, and I think that the DM may have killed his father and should prepare to die.
Well, he can die.
Look at that. My name is Josea Montoya. You
I
killed my father.
may
You
be
better to
bringing,
die.
I may be bringing my Goliath. That's
Oh, interesting. You running a Goliath now?
for that one. Yes.
Let me guess, Barbarian? Just one day I want someone to say, no, Barbarian, that's a Goliath wizard.
Goliath fighter actually.
Nice.
Battle master.
Nice.
Right, guys, do the rolls because I'm dropping in
yes.
literally 30 minutes. We've got some rolls to do. I'm gonna make sure the wife's okay. I go to the toilet. I'll come back. I'll be right back. We're gonna do some rolls. I just added to my list of I have a to-do list now for D&D, and my number one on my to-do list is work out foraging and plants. I need to see if I need to buy that book / a bit of it. I also do. I need to get. What was the thing you needed? What did we add that we didn't have?
Brewers supplies.
No, you just do that.
No, the amulet of thingy, clockwork amulet.
Clockwork amulet. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that thing's going to become really clutch.
Yeah, I think Xanatar's
Yeah.
guide to everything
I mean,
is going to
yes,
happen.
if I twin
Just the
spell-
ability to just choose to succeed in anything.
Yeah.
Just like with divination dice, it is... Yeah, it really does
Twin
change.
spell chromatic orb, and it's an 18 to hit for both.
Except it
like-
wouldn't be for both, would it? It'd only be for one of them. 'Cause I-
No,
Oh,
this,
do
is
you
what
roll-
this is what you've got to argue. It's like,
I
I'm
have to
firing them
roll-
both at the same target. Yeah, it's
Do you
technically
roll
one
twice
spell.
on chromatic orb?
You roll for each because it's twin.
Okay,
That's
so
that's
one of them
why
would
you
hit.
can twin spell it, because it only targets one person. So yeah.
Got ya.
So I could make one of them succeed.
Right, guys, I'll leave you to it to do the rolls. I'm back in a section. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's start at the top. Quent, a D4, please.
Three.
3 is Paolo Woda. What have I done? Why's my copy paste not worked? Right, and Tazar. Sorry, Alfred. I will get used to it at some point. A D4,
That's fine.
please.
That's a 2.
A 2 is Ratbait.
Right,
Arlo, a D4 as well, please.
that again is a 2.
2 is Paolo Woda. Oops, that's not 31. That's supposed to be 3-1. There we go. I can't talk and type at the same time. Right, back up to Quent. Another D4, please.
Another 3.
Another 3 is Josuke Ali. And then Alfred, a D6, please.
Ooh, he's going up. Okay. And that's a 6.
A 6 is Josuke Ali again. And last, we didn't actually have too many this time. A D4, please, Arlo.
And that is a 4.
4 is Josuke again. Sorry for... Oh, because I typed 2. I can't even remember how my own bloody thing works. There we go.
Qbot. Sorry, 4 isn't a valid winner.
Yeah. It's because you rolled 4, but it's entry number 2, because, yeah. No roll entries. Excellent. There we go. All done.
Super. Right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourselves a great week. We will be back on Thursday. I just want to clarify, we need to just message Toxie. I am definitely good for Thursday. And then it's going to be a 4-week break on Thursdays, although it may well be that we do something 2 weeks later, depending if Ash / Gaz and Toxie and JD want to do something. I'm thinking of maybe doing Alien for a week, just for a bit of fun. But we'll see what our schedule is like. But definitely on Thursday you'll see us. No show, of course, on Friday, but the first Blacklight Friday night show will be here on Friday. Yeah. And of course, next Sunday, we have Sarge's, the return of, what's it called? Death Camp. That's what I call it. That's right, that's what I call it.
on YouTube, it's still Sarge Kills Noobs. I'm not sure what the event
We've got it as Crash Landing as well.
There we go.
Yeah. I
Basically,
can't
there's
remember what I called it anyways.
Death Landing.
Oh, the event he's got it as GM Sarge versus Death Wish players.
Death. So many deaths. Just why is the word death apparent so much?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of it. Things die.
Sarge's Death
He
Camp.
tried to kill us. That's the point. He tries.
While
Yes,
the other
fine.
players don't kill you as well.
Sarge's Death Camp returns
Also an option.
for
Yeah.
season 2. Right, guys, have yourselves a great week. I'll see you all hopefully on Thursday, and just don't forget to tune into all the fun things we have here. In the meantime, cheers and good afternoon and good evening.
Goodbye. Right, now,
Bye.
how do I press this button and that button at the same time?
Oh, applause! Applause!